Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos. We will be opening up the phone lines in probably about 15 to 30 minutes. So if anybody's calling in now, feel free to call right back or hang tight backstage. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos, broadcasting to the world live from Phoenix, Arizona. Welcome on in. Today, we are opening up the phone line, so if you're interested in joining live, feel free. No pressure, but if you want to, there it is. Welcome in, Ziggy, Christine. Looks like we have somebody trying to call in right now, but they have a weak connection. If you could do your best to reestablish that connection, you might get on in. What's up, Jerry? Hey, Randy. Good to see you. I did get your message, by the way. Duly noted. Miss Dog Lover, Jill, Christine, Cindy, Patty, CJK, Gambies, ooh, I hate moving. I loathe it. Christine, if you could retry your connection. It's not letting me add you to the stream. What's up, Beth? One of my favorite mods. Molly, how you doing? This is not a members, but we do have a member scheduled for tomorrow. Sparky, how you doing? Stacy Skinner, welcome. Phil Bond. Cheeks, how you doing? Yeah, I hate moving. It's a pain in the ass. There is nothing worse than having to move. I loathe it. Stephanie, how are you? TC, what's up? Hey, Hiawatha. Little one. Sensei, how you doing? What's going on with you?
We do not train to be merciful here. Mercy is for the weak. Here, on the street, in competition.
Crime Jester. So, what's up, guys? We can talk about anything that you want. Today, I just have a little bit lined up. The topics that I have for you are the Kentucky sheriff and that whole debacle. And I don't know a whole lot about it, but man, what I was able to gather is pretty strange. So, I look forward to hearing your opinions on that. Joe Moser, how you doing? Don't worry, we have a members tomorrow. Do you guys like my thumbnail that I created? Let me see if I have it handy. I was kind of proud of it. Maybe it's in my check-in file. No, it's not there. I need to get organized. That's my Oh, there it is. Let me share my screen with you. You guys like my members only thumbnail? I don't mean to toot my own horn, but it's pretty good. Let's welcome in Miss Dog Lover.
Hi, how are you?
How are you? What's on your mind? Get it off your chest.
I was back at work yesterday after 3 months off because of illness, and now I've been told that I shouldn't really be back again by medical professionals. So, yeah, a bit frustrated.
Well, what do you think? I mean, honestly, I respect the opinions of doctors, but you're going to know what's best for your body.
Yeah, I mean, I've just been, I've always been, I was brought up to be, just battle on with it. Even like as a child, if you've got a cold, just go into school. It's just frustrating, but yeah, they've told me I shouldn't be going back too soon. So yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah, well, I mean, you definitely want to take the advice of professionals, but you're going to be the real professional when it comes to what you're feeling, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I appreciate their advice, and I think I have tried to go back too soon. So
yeah, they might be right.
Yeah, but what's on my mind is the whole Diddy case.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah, it is very interesting. Yeah, I mean, there's potentially quite a few people that could be implicated in that case.
New victims too coming forward.
And victims, and yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming out on that.
Some are calling it the new Epstein situation. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's awful. They said that they had like thousands of people coming forward, and they've narrowed it down to just over 100 at the moment.
I heard rumors of like a 9-year-old child.
Yeah, I heard that as well. That is just disgusting.
Yeah, it's just great. I mean, to me, it's just that satanic Hollywood.
Yeah.
More of the same.
Exactly. And I don't know if you saw it, but a few years ago when Ricky Gervais hosted the Golden Globes, and he called out basically Hollywood and said, look, I don't know, I can't say it on here, but yeah,
you can. Christine, try again. Keep trying to connect. But yeah, I loved that. And
I loved it as well. I love Ricky. He's
you know
amazing.
what I loved the most about it was the look on their faces.
Yeah.
In the crowd.
Because they knew they'd been caught.
Oh yeah. Yep. 100%.
Yeah. So yeah, it's quite late here actually. It's gone midnight, so just getting ready for bed, but I thought I would call in.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I'm sure you've got loads of people want to call in and have a chat.
I mean, it's not technically a call-in live stream, but um I think it's always good to open the calls when we're just doing like a kind of like a quick check-in.
Yeah, definitely. I really appreciate you having me on and letting people have a voice.
Yeah, I appreciate you calling it and wanting to.
I can hang around for a bit.
Yeah.
So if you've got other people that want to call in, I don't really have anything really more interesting to say.
Yeah, we could just hang out. CJK says putting my Trump flag up today. Be careful. You know, do it at your own peril. The way I look at the whole Trump situation is back to the quiet majority with me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really following American politics at the moment.
Yeah, it's getting ugly. It's getting ugly over here.
Yeah, I mean, it's ugly over here in the UK. I mean, with the change of government here from Conservative to Labour, it's not good.
What's the difference?
I haven't really seen any difference at the moment.
When you say conservative and labor, is that like conservative and communist or socialism? Like, what do you mean by that? I'm not.
So it's like equivalent of Republican and Democrats.
Okay. So divide and conquer type situation.
Yeah, basically. And we've got a massive problem here with illegal immigration, the NHS National Health Service, which everyone thinks is amazing. It's great, but everyone thinks, oh, you've got a free health system. It's not free. It's free at the point of use.
Yeah, nothing's free.
We pay for it through our taxes.
Yeah, there's nothing's free.
No, exactly. So we've got problems because that's all crumbling. And
I feel like that's where they're trying to take America right now, where you guys are at.
Yeah.
And why? Like, what is it? Is this like a world design? Is this what they need to kind of collapse the current system?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether the UK government, I mean, obviously they've just changed from Conservative to Labour government. I don't know if they're trying to privatise the NHS. I'm really lucky because through my company, I've got private healthcare. So I could say, for example, like when I had my appendix out, I had to spend like one night on an NHS ward, which was awful. Sharing a ward with like 6 other people screaming, like, mental health issues, people screaming down the hallways. And then the next day, when I spoke to the insurance company, they got me across to the private hospital, and they could take my appendix out that day. Whereas if I'd stayed in that NHS hospital, they said they didn't have any time to basically get me into theatre. So, yeah.
With the amount of taxes that we pay, I mean, I just don't understand what they're doing with this money and why I feel like we're being so sabotaged.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand America.
Like the entire Western world. It's not just America.
Well, yeah.
So how you doing?
So yeah, so I've been told I'm not ready to go back to work, and I'm really frustrated because I want to. Sorry, I know I say a lot. Must be really annoying. Say instead. I just want to get back to normality. That's the thing. I've been brought up to work for a living, and I'm lucky that the company supports me. But I'm now at the point.
You don't think everybody's getting that? You think you're just lucky with the company?
I don't think I'm lucky. I think I've worked really hard to get to work for the company that I work for. And I said, I only want to work for this company because I really, really love their values. I targeted the company, and I've worked so hard over the. I've worked from 18 years old. Like, I went to university. Okay, I got a first class degree, which I don't know, probably doesn't resonate with people over there in the US, but it's basically the highest degree you can get. So it's like A grades across the board.
So it's some hard work and time.
A lot of hard work. I'm not naturally academically bright, but if I put my head down and I get on with it, I can do it. So I've just worked my way through things. It's not easy for me, but like my parents always said to me, you can do whatever you put your head to.
I agree with that.
So, and then I was like, yeah, I started like £4 an hour, £4, filing 8 hours a day, just going to the worst temping jobs that you could ever think of. Leaving home at 6 o'clock in the morning in the pouring rain, in the dark, and then just building everything up from there. So I've really not had it easy. But then I had my sights on the companies that I wanted to work for. And I was lucky that my dad, when he was working, was able to support me while I selectively targeted those companies.
So you had a plan.
And I've been there 14 years now. And yeah, they've been amazing. I've been there for them when they've needed me. I've worked till midnight some nights. I've left the office at 2 in the morning because deadlines need to be met. And it just works both ways. Now they're really amazing. They're really supporting me. So yeah, it works both ways. You can't expect a company to just look after you if you don't really put work in yourself.
Yeah, I've been there. I with hernia surgery.
Yeah. Sorry, did I go on a tangent?
No, it looks like everybody's responding to you right now. I'm trying to go through these comments here.
Cool. Thank you, everyone.
Looks like everybody's kind of responding to your whole Diddy. The whole Diddy comment.
The victim as young as 9.
Yeah, I heard that today, actually. That there was somebody that came for it. And it's, you kind of got to wait it out because you never know if these folks are just responding, you know.
Well, didn't they say that they had like 3,000 responses and they're now actively following up on just over 100? So, yeah, you're going to get people.
You got to weed them out.
Yeah.
Have you been keeping up with the whole Kentucky sheriff shooting the judge and all of that?
No,
Yeah.
haven't even heard about it.
Yeah, here in the states, apparently there was some kind of a sex scandal that was going on. I don't know how it relates to this situation, but we had a Kentucky sheriff. He came into the judge's chambers, and they had lunch prior to this. They're friends, long time friends. And he came into his chambers, and they exchanged phones. And once he had the judge's phone, he noticed that the judge actually had his daughter's contact information. So it sounds like kind of like a grooming situation.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And the sheriff killed the judge right then and
Oh
there.
my God.
Yeah. I mean, the video is on Twitter. I mean, it's basically the murder video.
Oh my God. I'm not on Twitter anymore since it became X. Elon Musk has ruined Twitter, basically.
I disagree. I'm like, now I'm on X because
really?
yeah, I'm like the reversed. I'm like the reverse version of you. I'm
Oh.
like, okay, because I remember back, probably maybe 15 years ago, YouTube was a lot like what X is now. Um, People were able to post their videos and say what they wanted to say, and then it just all changed. It all became, censored.
Oh, I don't know. I had to just, I just had to get rid of it. It was doing my head in. So, yeah.
Welcome in, Hathers. There's a lot going on in the chat.
Yeah, what was that comment about hormonal? Yeah. I think women often are discussed as stress, anxiety. Well, I think I'm hormonal. Anyway, I think I'm perimenopausal.
Premenopausal.
Yeah. I'm 45 now, which is, yeah, goes so quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there. I don't like to think of it that way, but yeah, I mean, truthfully, that's true. I mean, that's middle-aged.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know where time went, but
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
Julie says, I love Ricky Gervais.
Gervais.
How do you
Ricky
say
Gervais.
it? Gervais?
Gervais. Yeah. He's great.
Yeah,
He's
he is
replied
great.
to me when I used to be on the former Twitter. He replied to me a few times. He's a good guy. He really is.
Yeah, and I'm sure he really likes Twitter now. Hey, Boston Hathers, Ziggy. Julia says, yeah, is it Gervais?
Gervais.
Gervais is a legend. I agree with that because I remember those videos.
Yeah, they introduced him at the Golden Globes as Ricky
Yeah.
Gervais. Ricky Gervais. But we say Gervais. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, I was watching another video. I think it was who the hell was it? It was an older actress, um, and she was talking about when she was a young kid and she was introduced to Hollywood, and she got her first movie role, and she was separated from her mother, so she went into one room with like a producer, and her mother went into another room with the second producer, and while she was in that room, the gentleman had stripped naked, and we're talking about a 12-year-old girl. So she kind of laughed. She couldn't help it. She just laughed at the gentleman. You know, she's never seen anybody naked other than herself, right? So she ran out of the room, and once she reconnected with her mother, they both were like distraught. And on the car ride home, they were both like, "Well, you will not believe what happened to me." And the mother was like, "Well, you won't believe what happened to me." She's like, "Well, this person stripped down naked in front of me, and that's what happened." I began laughing. She said, "Well, when I went into this other room, pretty much the same thing happened to me." So that makes you wonder about Hollywood,
So messed up, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it's completely disgusting, and people we can argue about religion and good versus evil, but the truth is, I mean, it 100% exists.
I mean, I don't have kids, but I've got nieces and a nephew. I just remember taking my niece when she was about 8, shopping.
Shirley Temple. That's who it was. Shirley Temple, sorry.
Shirley Temple. And she looked so much older than she actually was. And at that point, it worried me. Like, and I thought, I'm going to have to really protect her now. And I walked with her through that shopping mall, and I held onto her hand, and there were people approaching us trying to sell us things, and I was just having to ward people off, like, and they were like, are you her mum? And I said, no, I'm her auntie. And she said to me, what did he want? And I said, oh, well, he's trying to sell us things. And I said, look, just hold on to my hand at all times. Don't ever go anywhere away from me. You just can't. It worried me. And maybe it was because I'm her auntie. And I felt a special responsibility. Yep. On that occasion. I don't know, but that was, obviously, she's my flesh and blood. She's not my daughter, but I felt an extra responsibility to protect her. There's just so many weirdos around, and it's just sick.
Well, there's more than you expect.
Yeah.
And it's people like us that need to who educate ourselves, like through this true crime community where we kind of know the numbers a little bit better.
Yeah.
It's important for us to help educate those that are around us.
Yeah.
Julia says Ricky does a lot for dogs. He rescues dogs from the dog meat festival in China. They do unspeakable things that I will not mention, but much respect.
Yeah. He's amazing. He does a lot for animals.
Okay, here's the court hearing. Maybe we can watch this. Feel free to comment as you go. This is the Kentucky sheriff who apparently killed a judge that he's known for a long time. Before this happened, there was some kind of a sex scandal with one of the deputies that was under the accused killer's watch, and he was apparently having sex with somebody in the judge's chambers prior to this, to keep her out of jail. He basically told her, if you have sex with me, like, I'll keep you from going to prison. And then after that happened, we had this situation. Let's watch this here. This is the apparently about 37 minutes of preliminary hearings.
With the Honorable Rupert Malloy. Thank you, sir. You may be seated.
That's the sheriff right there. You can see him in the handcuffs in the blue. You see him there?
I'm going to call the case of Commonwealth versus Sean Steins, 24F-147, on for preliminary hearing. Is the Commonwealth ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the defense ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, call your first witness.
Commonwealth's plain stand.
All right, Mr. Neighbor, if you would. Raise your right hand for me. You swear affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you. You may be seated.
You state your name for the record, please.
Clayton Stanford,
And how do you spell your name?
Clayton.
Jacqueline's asking, Miss Doglover from England or British?
Yeah, I'm England, London.
Stamper.
Tell the court how you're employed.
I'm sorry.
How are you employed?
I'm a detective with the Kentucky State Police assigned to Post 13 Hazard.
How long have you been employed in that capacity?
I've been with KSP a little over 24 years, detective since 2006.
And have you, in the performance of your duties as detective police, have you investigated the death of Kevin Mullins?
Yes, sir, I did.
And can you tell us on what date that was?
It was September 19th, 2024.
In investigation of that death, were you able to determine who killed Kevin Mullins?
Yes.
And how were you able to do that?
Video surveillance footage.
And did you retrieve the video surveillance footage?
I did.
You're not this time, the council moved to play video footage.
All right.
Sure, I will object. Approach.
Yes, approach the bench.
Just as a matter of course, usually.
Let's go to this comment real quick. CJK says, but I also read the sheriff was SA woman in the judge's chamber. I don't know if it was what I read was here, and maybe we can go to that real quick. Here, let me pull up this article. Actually, I have a video. Maybe we'll watch that first. Hold on.
County, Kentucky, after a judge was fatally shot in his chambers, allegedly by the county sheriff. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm John Jenko. Kentucky State Police say that happened in the Letcher County Courthouse in Whitesburg yesterday. Investigators report that 54-year-old district judge Kevin Mullins was shot after an argument inside the courthouse. State police say the 43-year-old Letcher County Sheriff Sean Steins was the shooter. He is in custody, charged with first-degree murder. News Channel 11's Ansley Daniel is live from Kentucky, where that investigation is ongoing. Ansley, what's the latest information to come out of this case?
Well, John, we've been here in Whitesburg all morning, and it is pretty quiet in this small mountain town. However, what happened inside of this close?
Oh, wait, let's go to Crime Jester. He says Elon Musk is a horrible human being. Why would you say something like that? To me, he seems very helpful.
Courthouse yesterday is certainly the talk of the town. Now, those new allegations absolutely just came into our newsroom, so we're still digesting those ourselves, and I'm sure the folks around here are doing the same. Now, that federal lawsuit was filed Monday, and it alleges that a Letcher County Sheriff's deputy repeatedly sexually abused a woman in those very same chambers. Now, that woman claims that the former deputy, named as Ben Fields, forced her to have sexual relations for 6 months in exchange for staying out of jail. Now, Fields did plead guilty to raping the prisoner while she was on home arrest. He was sentenced to jail on charges of rape, sodomy, perjury, and tampering with evidence. But the lawsuit accuses the sheriff, Sean Mickey Steins, of deliberate indifference and failing to adequately train and supervise Fields. Now, Steins is being held in the Leslie County Jail. It's unclear when or where he will appear in court, and it's also unclear when this courthouse will reopen. Live in Whitesburg.
There are new details in an
Okay, so there's a little bit of background. I think I have another video here. And then we'll get back to the the trial here. Here it is. Let's try that.
Kentucky sheriff was in a courtroom today as shocking new details were released in the death of a district court judge.
Former Letcher County Sheriff Mickey Steins retired effective yesterday. Police say he shot and killed District Judge Kevin Mullins inside the courthouse on September.
Let me go to Stephanie's comment here. It says, oh, so the sheriff was a predator too. No, not from what I've seen. From what I've seen, he was responsible for a deputy. A deputy was the predator. But who knows? I'm really not sure what's going on. This is going to turn into something. This is going to spiral out of control, really. But from what I understand, Mickey Steins here, there's no evidence that he's a predator. It looks like he attacked the judge for possibly grooming his daughter. But he was questioned prior to that for not paying close enough attention to one of his deputies who may have been working with the judge and was arrested for assaulting a woman to keep her out of jail. And he went to jail for that.
September 19th. We do want to warn you that some of the details in this story may be disturbing to some viewers. WKYT's Phil Pendleton has more on what took place during a preliminary hearing this afternoon. He joins us with our top story at 5.
The preliminary hearing was moved to Morgan County after the deadly shooting in Letcher County about a week and a half ago. Kentucky State Police testifying about what happened on that September afternoon, a series of events that resulted in a district judge shot and killed and a sheriff charged with his murder. A shocked courtroom after seeing surveillance video played of a deadly shooting in a judge's chambers. Prosecutor Jackie Steele simply asked the detective who the people were in the video.
Yeah, and apparently the sheriff exchanged phones with the judge. And well, actually, before they exchanged phones, he tried to call his daughter. His daughter did not answer. He exchanged phones with the judge and found that his daughter's number was on the judge's phone. He called his daughter with, through the judge's phone. She answered. And who knows what else he found on that phone. But whatever it was triggered him. And he murdered the judge right there. And it's if you go on X, they actually have the video that was shown in court. We can't show it on YouTube for obvious reasons because it's censored.
That was Sheriff Mickey Steins and Judge Kevin Mullins.
And also, who had the firearm?
Sheriff Steins.
That was the basis of the questioning from the Commonwealth. But Steins' attorney questioned about the witnesses who saw or knew about the shooting. The detective said those interviews were done by others and are still being processed. They're also reviewing the content of phones owned by Steins and Mullins.
I was told that Sheriff Steins had tried to call his daughter, and he had tried to call his daughter from the judge's phone also.
The detective confirmed that Steins' daughter's number was also on the judge's phone. Detective Stamper also talked of Steins' demeanor after the shooting.
Mostly calm, I thought. I mean, I talked to him, but he didn't say nothing about why this had happened.
Now, the next phase of this will be a grand jury possibly considering an indictment, and that's after probable cause was found. Probable cause does not mean guilt, and a grand jury will likely consider this case over the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on with this case. I think I have an article here. And then we'll get to that trial. Hold on. Real quick. Hold on. I'm getting a text from my wife. So this article might help clear some things up, and that's why I pulled it. It's not very long. So Kentucky judge's moments of sheer terror caught on video as Sheriff Powell executes him in his chambers before telling arresting officers, "Treat me fair." So he killed the judge. In the moment he walked out of the room, he put his hands up. And he said, please treat me fair. So he was obviously triggered, but I'm going to read this here. And this was posted yesterday. The shocking moment a Kentucky judge was allegedly murdered by his sheriff pal was revealed in court as testimony offered some insight into the brutal slaying. Surveillance footage of a man identified as Letcher County Sheriff Sean Steins allegedly shooting District Judge Kevin Mullins several times in his chambers elected emotional reactions from the courtroom as prosecutors played the video during a preliminary hearing Tuesday. So if you
How
go,
did he get a gun into the courtroom?
well, he's a cop.
Okay, he's a cop.
He's a cop. He's a sheriff. He's supposed to have a gun. The prosecutors played a video during a preliminary hearing Tuesday, the Courier Journal reported, and you can watch this on X. Basically, somebody took a screenshot. I think it was Crime and Law of the hearing, and they played it during the hearing. The sheriff reportedly came out of the courtroom with his hands up after the shooting, asking police to treat me fair. Upon being taken into custody, a Kentucky detective testified, adding that Steins allegedly told police that they're trying to kidnap my wife and kid. So I don't know what the hell that's all about. Real quick, let me add True Crime Sages calling in. Welcome in, True Crime Sages.
Hey, Sleuth, how you doing?
Good. I'm going to continue on with the article. Steins, 43, was decades-long friends with Mullins, 54, and even had lunch with him on September 19th, hours before he's accused of shooting the judge 8 times inside the Letcher County Courthouse in Whitesburg, where Mullins served for 15 years. Detective Clayton Stamper testified that one witness who attended a lunch said that they saw Mullins ask Steins if they needed to meet privately, though the context wasn't provided, the outlet reported. He added that surveillance footage from inside the chambers not shown in court captured the sheriff using his and Mullins' phones to make multiple calls to his daughter just before approaching the judge and shooting him dead. Stampers confirmed that police found Steins' daughter's phone number saved in the judge's phone, according to the Courier Journal, adding that the case remains under investigation as police attempted to interview additional witnesses and examine both cell phones. So here's a screenshot. That's crazy. Though defense attorney Jeremy Bartley declined to discuss the motive for the shooting, cops reportedly suggested last week the murder was being investigated as a possible sex scandal. Authorities did not elaborate on the sex scandal in question. However, the sheriff had days before been deposed in a lawsuit filed by 2 women. One of the women alleged that a deputy forced her to have sex inside Mullins' chambers for 6 months in exchange for staying out of jail. The lawsuit accuses the sheriff of deliberately indifference in failing to adequately train and supervise the deputy. Like, how is that his responsibility? He's not a babysitter of this man. Deputy, and the name is Ben Fields, so you guys can go look up that case, who pleaded guilty to raping the female prisoner while she was on home incarceration. And one thing I've learned recently is that she may be dead now, and I don't know how she died, but she may no longer be living. Fields was sentenced this year to 6 months in jail. That's like a slap on the wrist. And then 6.5 years on probation for rape. That's bullshit. Sodomy, perjury, and tampering with the prisoner monitoring device, the Mountain Eagle reported. 3 charges related to a second woman were dismissed because she is now dead. And that's the woman I was referring to. Steins fired Fields, who succeeded him as Mullins' bailiff, for conduct unbecoming. After the lawsuit was filed in 2022, the Courier Journal reported at the time. Steins announced Monday that he was retiring from the position as sheriff after Governor Andy Beshear called for his resignation. Welcome in, True Crime Sages. Get it off your chest.
Oh, you just opened up a can of worms.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this is a big can of worms. So there's the missing girls down there. You know that.
Yep.
And you put yourself in the position of this sheriff when you've got a judge, AKA, who's letting these guys off, these deputies, with sodomy and rape and, you know, forcing themselves on inmates. Now, I want you to put yourself in his position for a minute. You got the governor, Andy Bashir, demon rat, breathing down his neck.
Can you turn up your mic a little bit?
Can you hear me better now?
I mean, I can hear you fine, but it's just a little low.
Yeah, I'll try to turn. Is that better? That's about as loud as it goes.
I mean, that's fine. It'll work fine.
So if you put yourself in the position of this Sheriff Steins, so
Yeah.
they're, you know, Andy Bashir is calling and giving him shit, saying, you know, you got to control your deputies better. Well, how in the hell is he going to control his deputies?
Grown man.
He's a grown man, and he's out, you know, forcing himself
In the judge's chambers.
in the judge's chambers, which the judge was well
How was
aware.
that his territory?
And then you've got Steins, who finds his daughter's phone number on a judge's phone, and probably
if you were grooming my child, I honestly don't know how I would
I
react.
don't know if he was grooming her, if he was abusing her. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah,
but if
we're
you
gonna
got
learn
a
about
judge
that, I think.
that is allowing this to go on in his chambers, first of all, that judge needs to be under the jail. Now, they're going to go after him for murder, but in a position of a parent, if I know somebody's doing harm to my child after they're already letting these rapists.
Yeah, I'm willing to go to prison for that.
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly. If they're in a position of authority, they're the sheriffs, the sheriff's deputies, and this judge is allowing this crap to go on. I mean, think about it. How do we know there's not a ring going on there? You've got missing women. You've got one that, you know, turned in a lawsuit. Then you've got the governor breathing down his neck. That smells to me like a trafficking ring.
Yeah, clear case of corruption. Maybe I think we got a bigger case here.
So who the hell do you turn to? Because God knows we can't turn to the DOJ or the FBI. I mean, we're talking about, okay, so you brought up the Trump thing before, and your friend from the UK brought up the whole, you know, demon rat, and that's what I'm calling him, demon rat versus Trump.
Yeah.
And the whole Diddy thing, it's all tied in. You've got 321,000 children missing from the border, according to the Homeland Security report of August 21st, 2024. And yet the news doesn't cover it. What are they doing with those children?
Well, they're being trafficked.
Of course they are. So you look at that on a large scale. They went after Donald Trump for 500 children that were misplaced, awaiting DNA testing so they could place them with their appropriate family members to make sure they weren't being trafficked.
Which was an Obama thing.
Exactly. They went after him hard in the last election. That was horrendous, saying, "Oh, you lost 500 kids." Yet the media, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, none of them discussed that there's 321,000 missing children from the border that we know are being sex trafficked, that we know are being used as drug mules, murdered. Okay, for someone like
that's
me,
not even the worst part. The worst part is that nobody cares. The majority of people do not care about that.
Because
the
they
way
don't
that
know.
you and I care about it, the majority of people don't care because we're turning into this weird, like, satanic cult.
Well, you know, Hollywood is, yeah, let's not go there. You brought that up before too.
What about the word Hollywood?
Well, if you think about actors, who's better to work in the CIA or the FBI than actors? Come on.
Yep.
I mean, the literal sense of it. Okay, so you have that on a large scale there. You know, are they doing MK Ultra with these kids? Are they doing, you know, videos coming out about how they ran experiments on orphans and on unwanted babies, like dogs, you know, injecting them with drugs and making them do all kinds of crazy crap. You know, you don't know what they're, so if you think about the border problem on a large scale, when it comes to human compassion, there is none with the left.
No.
They claim that, oh, we care about everybody. No, they don't. They don't care about 321,000 missing children. And now it's more like 350,000. I mean, let's be real. And we're not even talking about the ones that we know have been murdered on the other side of the Mexican border.
Mm-hmm.
Or
the ones within our own country.
Precisely.
All the true crime cases that we cover, all the missing people that we're asking about. What about them?
Exactly. I mean, I don't give a shit what your nationality is, what your color is. If you're a human trafficker, you're a piece of shit.
Yep. You're a devil.
Agreed, Molly. Sorry to interrupt.
No, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, Molly. So your little friend from the UK here, you brought up a great point about Diddy and perhaps it being the next Epstein's Island, which, yeah. Okay, so what about Charles? What about King Charles? His best friend was Jimmy Savile. Let's not go there.
Oh, what a sick fuck.
So, it's all over. These elite people think that they're beyond the law. Now let's take
Sorry, can I just... So, you're talking about Charles or are you talking about Prince Andrew?
I'm talking about Charles. His best friend was Jimmy Savile. Andrew, we know, was with a young girl. He claims it was a stage photograph. Horseshit. He was on Epstein's Island. I have the mailing. I have the flight list. They've got pictures of him at Epstein's apartment in New York.
Okay, I haven't seen that. I know that obviously, Prince Andrew is disgraced in this country. But yeah.
It goes beyond, okay, who's the heir and who's the spare? It goes beyond that. Jimmy Savile was one of his best friends.
Oh God, yeah. Jimmy Savile was the worst.
Yes, and he was one of King Charles' best friends.
Yeah, I mean, there's
what was going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that could be uncovered. Yeah, I agree, but nothing. Nothing that has been publicised in the UK at the moment regarding Charles. But I have to say, I do look forward to the day that William is king, because I love William and I love Kate.
I feel like the boys, Wills and Harry, are in a very, very bad situation. And
continue on, guys. I'll be right back.
Let's set this aside for a moment, okay? About King Charles and Jimmy Savile. But I'm going to give you an example of how bad the media is. It's not just the U.S., it's the UK too, what Sleuth was talking about before. So you've got a man that supposedly escaped out of Queen Elizabeth's bedroom with bedclothes down 2 stories, and he's naked, but they're claiming that's how he got in. That doesn't wash.
Okay.
How's he gonna tie bed sheets together to get up 2 stories?
Okay, I don't know what you're referring to there. What incident was that?
That's one you'll have to look up. But I agree with you. The elites get to a certain position and they think they're beyond justice, and some of them are. I mean, let's be honest. Some of them are beyond justice. And I feel like in this particular case in Kentucky, perhaps this sheriff was put in that position. You've got his daughter who, so he knows the judge is corrupt. He knows that some of the deputies that he's working with are abusing women, abusing prisoners. And then he finds out, oh, this judge is conferring with my daughter. Let's see what he said. This man's supposed to be his friend, but he's messing with the sheriff's daughter. Now, I don't know what those texts revealed between the sheriff and the judge's daughter, but I can tell you, if it was my daughter, I don't know if I'd be able to control myself. If it was my grandchildren, I don't know if I'd be able to control myself. Because you're at a point there where you can't trust the DOJ, you can't trust the FBI, so there it is. Sleuth, I'm waiting for your response.
Oh, you guys didn't hear me?
We couldn't hear you.
Oh, I said I would be listening on my phone. I had to run downstairs real quick. My wife was asking me about what I wanted as far as ordering pizza.
Okay, so what I was saying was, you look at what's going on in the UK with, Jimmy Savile, with King Charles, and then you look over at Epstein's Island. He was blackmailing
Diddy?
people. He had tape. Now you look at Diddy, and what I was saying is these elites, they get to a certain position where they feel they're above reproach and beyond the
Well,
law.
it's blackmail. It's blackmail.
Of
That's what it
course,
is.
of course, they're
They
Hollywood
get you in a
and
compromising situation. It reminds me of Skull and Bones a long time ago. They all
yeah.
apparently there was this ritual that they had to do where they all laid in this coffin and they did some something with somebody with the same sex, and then they said, "Hey, if you don't do what we need you to do in the future, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, we're going to release this to the public."
Well, I think it goes way beyond hazing and blackmail at this point. A lot of them are just
Yeah.
satanic and evil, and they enjoy it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But what I'm saying is, okay, you take that on a larger scale. Now let's bring it back to Kentucky. You've got a sheriff who realizes his deputies, or a deputy, possibly more, have been abusing, raping victims, bringing them to this judge's
Well, do you
chambers.
relate that to Delphi at all?
No,
Either do I.
that's on the opposite ends of Kentucky.
I just wanted to make sure, like, that's not what we weren't on that page.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
You
just-
said Delphi. I
Can
was thinking.
I
I'm sorry. I was thinking
say
of
that I
another county
don't
where
think
something
it's-
similar is going on.
It's not a fair comparison between Jimmy Savile and King Charles.
It's not King Charles. Who is it? It's Andrew, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, Andrew's the guy that was captured in the photographs with
was saying,
Epstein
no,
and all of that.
She was
I
saying,
understand what you're saying.
It's
I
not.
understand.
It's Jimmy Savile was one of the most prolific paedophiles in the UK. Look at the documentaries on YouTube. He was absolutely the most horrific person to ever exist on this planet. You can't compare him to King Charles. Whatever you think about Charles, I mean, I love William, and I hope that he is king soon. But
What I said was,
perspective here.
Is King Charles was best friends with Jimmy Savile.
No, he wasn't.
Okay.
Where have you got that from?
I think that's what I'm referring to. I think she's mixing this person
Yeah,
up
I
with
think-
Andrew.
I'm not mixing anybody up. There's a difference between Andrew and Ann and Charles. I know who they are.
Okay.
I'm not mixing anybody up.
Okay. I'm just, and I don't know.
We'll have to look into that. We'll have to look into that and get some evidence.
Please
Yeah.
do. Setting that aside for now, my point was, if you bring it back to Kentucky, the case you brought up
Yep.
in the very beginning,
Yeah, and I have it still up on the screen here.
right? You bring it back to Kentucky, and you've got a sheriff who he's like, okay, we've got a crooked judge who's over top of all these deputies that are bringing women into his chambers, and then the man finds out that the judge is communicating with his daughter.
Yeah, and why would a deputy be in his chambers anyway? Like, you know what I mean?
It's a trafficking situation. It's not rocket
Exactly.
science.
He felt comfortable to bring them in there. So obviously this sheriff, he's pissed off about something.
So he sees the phones, and he sees that his own child
Is part of the
communicating
scheme.
Exactly. Who is communicating with his judge. We don't know what those communications is. Was it grooming, or was he actually raping her?
And you know what's messed up is that their own investigators, they took the phones. So who knows what they did with the evidence?
Bingo.
That
And
shit
how
pisses
many of
me
them
right
are
off.
involved? And how many of them are involved?
Yeah, this is a fucked up situation, and it's going to evolve.
So it's not just Letcher County. It's been in Ohio County. It's been in other counties that the same type of thing. These backwoods country counties you know, where
So why not
someone's
Delphi?
elected
Why
sheriff.
not Delphi?
I disagree with that one, and I can't go into details on that.
I haven't seen any evidence, but I know there's a lot of people who bring that up. But why not Delphi? I mean, it's a very similar, right? Let's play devil's advocate on that.
Okay. So, yeah, you're switching topics on me here.
Let's tie it in there.
Let me just say this. I have not seen anything that would lead me to believe that that's going in Delphi.
Well, until this situation, we wouldn't have seen anything either.
Yeah, we did. We saw missing girls. We saw people that filed suit, you know, inmates that tried to file suit.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to tie it together because there wasn't a case of people being raped in the judge's chambers. There's nothing like that going on in Delphi. So you're right. Apples and oranges.
We've had this happen in 3 different counties in Kentucky, and we've had other things. And
But I know that people are thinking that they're seeing this corruption. They're seeing this corruption, and they're saying, "Well, that's what's going on over here."
Well, not every police agency is corrupt.
Yeah, no, and I agree with you.
There's some corruption in every police station, but not every police station is corrupt.
Yep, I agree with you. I just wanted to make that. I just wanted to put that out there so that people can see the difference.
Yeah, there's a bad apple in every bunch. You can't blame all cops because some cops are shitty.
Oh yeah, when I was younger, I was almost killed by a cop.
Yeah,
So,
I hear you. I was actually SA'd by a cop.
yep. So I'm not
And
pro
I
law
was-
enforcement. I'm
and I
pro
was-
truth here.
I was not even being arrested. I've never been arrested. But yeah, you know, he shoved me up against the wall, groped me, and stuck his tongue down my throat, and I was like, get the F off.
Yeah, I think that happens often, but that doesn't mean that that's what's going on with every case.
Exactly. So, and that's why I said, you know, Delphi, that's a different entity altogether.
I
That has
agree.
nothing to do with what's going on in different counties in Kentucky. There's corruption. Okay. And you have these little sheriff's departments and little, you know, counties where this could readily be going on. You have to be careful who you elect. And you know, what was this sheriff's recourse if that was his daughter? If it was your child, couldn't you see yourself snapping?
I don't know. I think I would be. I think I would be a little more calculated.
Well, and see, the difference is this wasn't premeditated.
Yeah, that's why I think it's going to be in his favor. Like for me, I would find it out, and then I would probably get him where I wouldn't be caught. You know, to me, this is going to be in his favor that he snapped.
Yeah, that's basically what he did. It was his kid, so he
Yeah, me, I think I would be waiting for him one day in his home, you know, and he would show up, and I would just be sitting there on his favorite recliner.
Yeah, I wouldn't, you know, they're going to say, well, you can't do vigilante justice. Look, as a parent, if somebody's raping your child or somebody's doing something to harm your child, you're going to lose your shit.
Yeah, to me, this is like more evidence that he snapped.
Right.
Yep. I agree with you on that.
So what do you say to somebody like that? I mean, the man's in the position of a sheriff, but he's got a judge over top of him, and then he's got the governor breathing down his neck. No. Who does he turn to? He doesn't have anybody to turn to. And in that moment, he felt the pressure. I don't even know if I'd convict him. I'd have to see the evidence of what was on his kid's phone.
Yeah, what's on that phone? I mean, was he were there text messages? What does the daughter have to say? Do we know the age of the daughter? Do you know?
No
I don't
idea.
know a whole lot about this case.
No idea. I'm
assuming she's underage.
Right. And even if she wasn't.
Yeah, even if she wasn't, if this guy's some kind of sick weirdo and they're doing this type of behavior, and then all of a sudden you're communicating with my daughter, like all I can do is assume that you're trying to drag her into your sick world.
Bingo. And how do we know it hasn't gone beyond that? We don't know what's on the communications. And since they took the phones, We don't know what's been erased.
Well, there was another case recent. I guess it wasn't recently. It was a few years back where they brought this young woman in the back room and they kind of made her strip search. And then when she came into the courtroom, she told the judge like, "Hey, they literally strip searched me and they were groping me." And it turned into this big debacle. I don't know if you remember that.
It's happened so often.
Yeah, she was just so brave, and it was right after it happened, and she made a big deal about it, and it's almost as if they had been doing this for years, and they weren't expecting her to stand up for herself.
Yeah, and I know of another county in Kentucky where a similar thing happened.
This might have been
where-
in Phoenix, actually. This might have been in Arizona.
Oh, okay. Like I said, it happens. But there was another case in Kentucky where a judge was, having relations with inmates in his chambers for reduced sentences. That's actually happened in two counties. in
Case
Kentucky.
with the convicted murderer and that the young girl or the lady who was working in the jail and she helped him escape. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember, but I can't remember what county it was.
Yeah, I can't remember, but she helped. She for
Yeah,
over
she
2
helped
years,
the
she was
inmates get
dating
out.
this guy, and she helped
Right.
him. Yeah, she sold her house and everything.
Yeah, she's corrupt,
Yeah, this shit happens everywhere.
does. And that's my point. This sheriff, I mean, he's innocent until proven guilty, first of all. But look at the amount of stress that the man had to be under. And I'm not saying that as an excuse for murder,
I don't know. I
but
mean, I'm such a paranoid father. Like, I mean, I'm just ready to snap. Like, if you did anything to one of my daughters, I don't know. I might
well,
fucking
then
kill
what
you.
if the judge looked at him and said something like, "There's nothing you can do about it"? I mean, I'm blown away. I'll go to
Um,
prison. Boom, you're done. We don't know what happened in that
and you
moment.
might not even think that, right? You might just kind of you might dissect the parts of your brain that work normally when somebody says something like that to you. Like, you're gonna fuck with my daughter? Like, really?
And this is supposed to be one of his best friends, and this is going on behind
Yeah,
his
they
back.
had apparently they had lunch before this incident, like earlier in the day.
Which is another reason why I brought up King Charles. You got, again, getting back to the larger scale of human trafficking, you've got King Charles, who was best friends with Jimmy Seven. Did he know what was going on with that man?
I think you mean Prince Andrew.
I don't. I mean King Charles.
Yeah, she's made that point clear. She's talking about Charles,
I've
and I
gone
don't
back
know
in
about the
history.
situation.
I've gone
I
back
know,
and I've
I
worked
know
on
about the whole
Wait,
Andrew situation
wait,
because of the
wait.
photographs, but hey, I'll step back on that one.
I know exactly what I'm saying. Anyway, Sleuth, I probably said too much. I've been
No,
doing
you're
this
great.
so long.
You gained quite a bit of fans. What's going on with your channel?
My channel was,
Well, since you called in on the last call
I'll
in,
message you
I've had a
private.
lot of people asking about you. So,
I'm retired. I'm too old. I'm too sick. I'm too tired.
well, you've gained some fans. I mean,
I don't need any fan. This is not about me. This is about me.
it's not about you, but when you're speaking truth and people can they can relate to it and they want to echo what you're saying, uh, you might want to
The
invest
biggest
in
Yeah,
that.
I take it back. I've just Googled it, and yeah, there is a connection between Charles and Jimmy Savile. So,
And
yeah.
you can go on with that too. You want to get into Saudi Arabia, the UAE. I can go all day. I've been doing this for many years. There's more human trafficking in the UAE, now the wealthiest, almost the wealthiest kingdom in the world. It's run by the wealthiest people in the world, and there's human trafficking that goes on there every day. And this is not with the media reports. They don't want to hear the truth. They want to give the American people their spin on it.
Well, they're being paid by the same people that are doing it.
There you go.
I know that much. I know
But
what we're dealing with.
my point
We're
is,
dealing
the
with
American
Satan.
public, exactly.
Yeah.
Most of the American public doesn't know this. They believe that, this is all about race and, my kids mixed, my grandkids are mixed. It's
Yeah. My whole
it's
family's
bullshit.
my whole family's mixed.
My grandkids are mutts.
Yep. Me
Okay,
too.
so-
I'm a fucking mutt.
Bingo. So but the media spins it. They're like, oh, if you're against LGBTQ,
No,
you're
black conservatives are my favorite. Same with
It's
gay
so much
conservatives. That's my
horseshit.
favorite. Those are my favorite people because it takes a whole lot of courage to be that.
It's like Kamala Harris, she's Hindu, she's pandering to everybody. She puts on a black scent. I can't with that crap. I just can't.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, let's call it out for what it is. You've got the elites that are running this country into the ground in particular, and you have to ask yourself why. Who's getting rich? And who's trafficking these children, and why do they think it's okay to take a human being and do something like that? It's not okay.
It's not.
And all these people that are running these medias, my God, I hope I'm at the judgment table and with Jesus next to me and they're on the other side because I'm going to be accusing them.
You won't have to.
Thank you, Jesus, for that.
Yep. I agree with you on that. I mean,
It's
we can
fine.
agree on this is that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with kind of like an end times kind of scenario.
I hope not, for the sake of humanity, I hope not, but my God.
I mean, my prayers are for humanity, but I mean, I'm just seeing it. I mean, my eyes, it's clear.
Right. But you want to get back to the human trafficking thing for a minute? The problem is the mainstream media won't tell you what's really going on. They won't cover it. They won't tell you that there's only 2 FBI agents that work all of the Native American countries up in the the Northwest U.S. that children are being trafficked across the middle of the country and up and down 75 and I-95 and across the Mexican border. They're not going to tell you this. I've been doing this shit for too long. I know what's up. And they're making money off of human flesh.
Yeah, and these kids are not. It's not like they're surviving this either. They're not making out
what's
on the
their
end.
life? Even if they do live through it, what's their life going to be?
Yeah, but they're not. They're not
People
living through it.
people don't know that the 99% of people that are prostitutes were molested as children.
Yeah, that's where drug abuse comes from. I mean, it comes from trauma.
It's a business.
It's self-medicating is what I call it.
Drugs, weapon trafficking, human trafficking, it's all business. It's all the evil of money.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't serve God and mammon. You cannot serve God and money.
Two separate entities.
Well, that's biblically speaking.
Grunstruck says the judge was messing with his daughter. Yeah, that's what we're seeing. It looks like he possibly was grooming the daughter, and that's what triggered him. And
I wouldn't go so far as to say it was just grooming. I think the sheriff probably found something in her text.
Mhm.
Maybe we'll never know because they got a hold of the phones.
Well, it sounds like more like a test. Like I already knew what was going on. Now, for me to confirm it, I just want to make sure that you have, her phone number and there's no reason for you to have my daughter's number. So if she's telling me that you're trying to groom her, there's no reason for you to have her number. So let me go ahead and see your phone. He gives him the phone and then he says, okay, well, this is verification. You've been grooming my child.
I want you to think for a second, Sleuth. If it was just so this man is supposed to be one of Stein's Sheriff Stein's best friends.
Yeah, and I'm just hoping it's grooming. You're
Exactly.
damn right about that. My mind doesn't want to go there. All right. You know what I mean? Like,
this is supposed to be one of his best friends. So him having the phone number might not necessarily be a big deal. What did he find in her phone
Yeah.
that we're not going to get the privilege of seeing?
That's what I'm saying. Why is he there? This was more of like a confirmation of something that he's already seen. He's looking to verify
Oh my
something.
God, he's a sheriff. You know he's investigating. If it's
Oh
something
yeah, and he's not afraid either. It's like he's willing to risk his entire life for whatever it is that's going on.
he's willing
And
to
the
risk
thing
his life
is
for
that
his daughter.
I can relate to him because I'm a paranoid father. I have 2 daughters.
Yep,
And prison is nothing for a
yep,
situation. If you're grooming my daughter, I'll go to prison if I need to.
bingo. And if you're abusing my daughter or my, grandchildren, I might just take you out too.
Yep. Let's welcome in Julia Burns. Welcome in, Julia.
Hey, I just want to give a quick shout out to True Crime Sages right now. I'm a huge fan of you. Not
Yeah, she's
not just
killing
huge
it.
fan.
That's
Yes,
what I'm
no,
saying. You
like
have fans, right?
yes. Well, I mean,
I
just
don't.
as a person, no, I know you don't need fans. I'm just saying everything you're
You
saying.
have them though.
You should see me in my mirror right now, like getting ready. I'm just like, yes, yes. And so I just had to say
Hmm.
that to you right now. Yes.
God bless
Everything
you.
you're
Where are
saying.
my fans?
No, I'm
Oh,
a huge fan of you too. If you look in the chat, I said Miss Dawn love her so sweet, and I love every time she calls in. So
I'm just joking.
I know you are, but I'm also just letting you know I'm a huge fan of you too. And I mean, Sleuth, I guess, is okay sometimes too.
yeah, I'm all right sometimes.
Yeah,
Don't worry
yeah,
about me. I don't
you're
need
Oh,
it.
fine.
I'm on the back burner. Just
Yeah, you kind
continue.
of are right now. Not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
continue.
Okay.
Well,
That was all I
thank
wanted to
you.
say.
the
Okay, I'm
biggest
gonna
thing
mute
for me.
myself right now because I don't really have anything to say, but I'll pop in if I do. But proceed, everybody. That's
Yes.
all.
Thank you, dear.
Yeah.
And that's
The
what I'm
biggest.
telling you, True Crime Sages, is that we had a lot of good reviews from what you were saying because you're speaking the truth about these things.
Yeah, people need to be awake to the truth, and the best thing, and this is my thing. Okay, so when somebody goes missing, please, I don't care what color their skin is, this. Here's a big thing about the media that really bothers me. If it's Hispanic or Black, a lot of times they won't share it on the mainstream media. They won't share it
No,
on the news.
that's why we have True
They want
Crime in the morning. It's all about people who have been brushed under the rug. And whenever it
yes,
has anything to do with
call it,
prostitution, minorities, or drugs, law enforcement seems to think that that doesn't need to be investigated because they're not regular people.
exactly. This is an interesting thing. Okay, so I've studied many, many criminals and interviewed many. Here's the thing. You've got somebody like Jeffrey Dahmer. He's got a guy who's not a homosexual male that's in his apartment with a bunch of dead bodies. Dahmer's trying to kill him, and he manages to get away from him. And now we know this guy's been.
But he can't speak English.
No, this was a black man.
Oh, I thought you were referring to the Asian male who actually was able to escape, and he ran to law enforcement
And
and
they
was
sent him back
trying.
up. Yeah,
Yeah,
that happened twice.
he was not black. He was Asian.
No, there was a black man as well. That happened twice.
Well, that's a nightmare right there.
It's just like, Ted Bundy. He managed to escape twice from Utah. So here's the thing. There is a lot of human trafficking going on in this country, and the mainstream media does not want to put that information out there. Let me tell you something. It's like Kamala Harris, okay? This is the way the left is. She says, oh, well, I have a gun, and Tim Walz has a gun, and okay, but you want to take everybody else's guns.
Well, she has a gun, but she thinks that the Second Amendment is for hunting. It's not for hunting. It's for protecting us from tyranny.
From tyranny against our own government, and
Yes,
that's what's
fuck
happening right now.
hunting.
Bingo.
You don't need to be a hunter. You need to be
Bingo.
able to protect yourself from a tyrannical government.
Bingo. So again, we have someone who says, oh, Donald Trump is, got 500 missing children from the border. Okay, that we're waiting DNA tests. Then you've got the Biden-Harris administration, and you can look up the Homeland Security report as of August 21st, 2024, 321,000 that they are aware of that are missing from the border.
Yeah, that they've been able to calculate. That doesn't mention the years prior to that. Yeah, that's not even a close number.
It is a double standard from a corrupt government. They want their disgusting enterprises to continue, meaning human weapons, drug trafficking, fentanyl, more fentanyl deaths, calling a herd. Like I said, you opened up a can of worms when you brought up these topics, especially when it comes to missing children. But what people need to do is, in spite of Facebook and social media, use whatever platform you have and spread the truth.
And they need to vote. And they need to vote. They need to get out there and vote. I know that there's not a lot of I know people aren't convinced that their vote's going to count, but that's an afterthought. We'll worry about that later. Get your vote in now.
Bingo.
Get out there and vote, and if it doesn't count, we'll deal with it later. And we've dealt with it in the past, and if we have to, we'll deal with it again in the future.
Sorry, I've actually got to go because it's really late. So thanks for having me on.
Miss Doglover, final thought. Let's hear it. Put it out there.
Final thoughts. P. Diddy and 100 people going down.
Bingo. Amen. Thank you, dear.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Miss Doglover. Thanks for calling in. Love you.
Oh, she doesn't love that.
Anyway, the point is we're in a very corrupted, one-sided U.S.
We're in a fucked up position right now. We're in a very delicate position, and I don't think a lot of people realize that.
We are. I mean, the corruption goes beyond just human and weapons trafficking and drug trafficking. It goes beyond that.
Yeah, it's biblical.
Well, I wouldn't just say it's biblical. I would say that it's I have a lot of thoughts about these things because of things I'm aware of, and I digress. I'll leave it at that.
Well, when you say that you're aware of, are you talking about your intuition?
No.
What are you referring to?
I'm talking about things that I'm not allowed to talk about, and I need to let it go.
Okay.
I digress.
Let's give a shout out to Camaro Lover, Badass American, Hathers, Red Queen, Stephanie. But like I'm telling you, True Crime Sages, everybody, you're gaining a fan base, and
I don't want a fan base. If you want
you may not want a fan base, but you want to know what? I'm part of that fan base.
I love you, Sleuth. Listen, we're all fellow servants, just like Jesus, and I'm not a Jesus freak, but let me tell you something.
I'm a Jesus freak, but I'm not a Bible thumper.
I'm not a Bible thumper either. This is about humanity, and this is about being kind to other people and looking out for your neighbor. And there is a vast difference between right and wrong. And what's going on in this country is wrong. And the best thing people could do, if you see somebody who's missing, the odds of somebody coming back, especially a child after 3 hours, finding them alive, is amazing. But the
so
odds
then you got to find the scumbag that did it.
Exactly. Precisely.
Yeah, find this back and hope that they're not somebody in power that can manipulate other people.
Exactly.
Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not.
So, and if you know what's really going on behind the scenes, it's really easy to see where the corruption lies in our government. And again, the left, the demon rats, as I like to call them.
Wait, are you talking about the Democrats? You call them the demon rats?
Yeah, demon rats.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, demon rats specifically. I have a hat I wore to a rally not too long ago. It says, "Make America smart again." You know, people need to think. What now is their motivation? I
Common
don't give a
sense.
shit if yes, I don't care if somebody's gay, straight, bi. I don't care about their gender or what they choose.
Or
to identify.
trans. Like, who gives
But
a
I'm not
shit
going to
if
play with
who
somebody.
gives a shit if you dress like a man or a woman? Nobody
Oh, I
cares.
don't care.
Just don't go into the restroom with my daughter. That's all I care about.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or wait for her to leave and then go in. I don't care.
You know, or don't try to jump in my car and carjack me because I'll run your ass off a bridge. I'm
Yeah.
not the one. You know, I'll put a cat in your ass. I don't
Freedom
care.
is for everybody, but you have to understand that there's calculations, you know what I mean? Like, people are being molested, raped, children are being exploited. Like, come on now.
I think a big thing that, if I can jump in real quick,
Go ahead,
just
dear.
speaking as like a younger person, I'm in my 20s. Well, I'm 29, but still counts. I think that a lot of people my age don't educate themselves on what's actually going on, and I think that's a big part of the problem. And I really hope that people start waking up, because there's so much messed up stuff that's going on right now, and that's my hope.
Well, unfortunately, most young people, they look at what they see on TV and they believe it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
For a reason.
And that's why I think it's good that we have X. I mean, X reminds me of what YouTube was when I first was attracted to it. There was so much information out on YouTube when it first came out. I was just baffled. And then all of a sudden it was being like restricted. And now I'm looking at X and I'm like, oh man, this reminds me of what YouTube was before it was being restricted. So I'll leave it at that.
So, Sleuth, if you notice when you go to type in your chat, if you look at the emojis that YouTube allows you, you can't find an American flag. I know some people copy and paste them in there.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can't find
YouTube is not a free space.
No, it's not. Not at all.
That's one thing that really bothers me, how people associate the American flag with negativity. I don't care if you don't like Trump. I don't care if, you know, you're a Democrat, Republican, whatever. If you're going to disgrace the like American flag, or even just like dismiss it as something negative, then get out. I don't want you here, you know? Like,
And at one point it's a good thing. Like, it's a good thing that, like, let's say you can burn the American flag. That's a great thing. But right now, when the American way of life is held by just a thread, it's not a good thing. But when we're held strong and we can be confident in our ways, you know, burn the American flag. That's what it's all about. That's what America is all about, is being able to burn the American flag and talk shit about the president and talk shit about America as much as you want, because you're free to do that here in America. But right now, it's just not like that. We're literally on the verge of socialism.
Communism, you mean? We're
Same
beyond
thing. Socialism, communism. If you can show me the difference, I'll listen.
I am terrified for this election. I'm not going to
Well,
lie.
socialism.
I am fucking terrified. I feel like we're getting ready to go into a civil war. Honestly, guys.
Well, that's what they want. They want to call the herd. I mean, what do you think?
It is what they want, and I feel like that's what they're going to get.
Back when the coronavirus came out, the first thing I did was look up what were the patents on it. You know, I looked through the CDC to find out who held the patent, and it's the same thing with HIV. Okay, so you know, it's half a dozen, one or the other. You don't get a patent unless somebody invents it. And on that, I need to go smoke a cigarette.
Good for you. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, looking up all the patents and everything like that, I completely agree.
Yeah.
I didn't get vaccinated, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, because
Me neither.
now
Nobody in my family did either.
Yeah, well, actually, half and half, but yeah, I know. But all my friends were like, "Why didn't you get vaccinated?" And blah blah blah. Like, you can't hang out. I'm like, fine. I'm not putting some chemical in my body that like just.
Some people lost friends, right?
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, but I'm not.
What the fuck is that?
It's insane.
Yeah.
That
is insane.
Hey
That
guys, I'm
scared-
gonna cool my lungs. I'll be back shortly.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's the part that scared me the most because I watched it. I watched the propaganda going through China. They were like spraying their streets like it was some kind of like World War Z, right? And it really wasn't. It was nothing like that at all. Because when I got COVID, I got it and I was pissed off because I knew that they released this into the world.
Yeah.
But I also knew that the only reason they released it is so that I would be triggered to go get that vaccine.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I've had hangovers worse than COVID.
Yep.
It was nothing.
Well,
I've had it once.
I've had nothing worse than COVID. COVID was like the worst flu that I've ever had,
Oh,
and
really?
I think that was the point of it. But it wasn't something that was like, oh my God, I got to go get a vaccine because I never want it again. It was something that was just bad enough for me to. But the thing is I knew what it was. I knew what they were doing.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Same. And I will admit, like, obviously it affects different people in different ways.
Yeah.
But like older people or immune compromised, sure, like absolutely there should be some people that for themselves should get it, and I'm not gonna go into that too far. But like with,
We'll call
with
it the
my-
Kung flu.
Oh yeah, right. I think what you said, and I've started using this myself, the scamdemic. But
Yeah,
I do
scamdemic.
understand that how people were like, terrified at first and stuff, and I'm just like, I'm gonna.
No,
wait
it was
out a
scary.
little
Let me
bit.
tell you why it was scary, because when it first came out, it was all about what China was putting out. They were like showing these crazy videos of people like being forced into their rooms and isolated, and robots were feeding them, and they were using drones to feed them. So if it wasn't for that, America would not have reacted the way they did. So that's how I know that whoever was responsible for COVID, they were working with China.
Yeah. Well, I think the first case was in Kirkland, Washington, which is where my office at the time was.
Yeah, remember
So,
the
like,
numbers? Remember they had that website with the map and all the red dots, and you could see how it was like expanding, and everybody could check in on it daily, and it was getting worse and worse. You
Or
remember
you
that?
get phone notifications sometimes.
Do you remember that? The map?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
was all about. See, that is the bullshit, and that is the control we need to fucking fight against.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad there's like-minded people out there that actually do their research. And
Yep.
again, I'm not trying to offend anybody out there that disagrees with me. That's fine, and I will.
Hold on. We have a somebody from who is this?
Bear Jew?
This is the Bear Jew.
Oh yeah.
Welcome, Bear Jew. Can you hear? Your audio's a little weird.
Yeah, I'm on my truck. I'm trying to get it off their pickup.
Okay, I think we can hear you fine.
There we go. Now you can hear me.
Yeah, you can hear. Welcome, Bear Jew. But continue, Julia, and then we'll go to the Bear Jew.
I kind of lost my train of thought.
You were talking about COVID and all of that.
Yeah. It'll come to me. But anyways, hello, Bear Jew. Welcome.
Yeah, go ahead, Bear Jew. You interrupted, so it better be
No,
good.
it's okay.
I just no, I didn't have anything to say. I just got on here. I saw the link. You guys continue.
No,
I'll
it
just
better
have to
be
work.
good. You better have something.
Otherwise,
you better have
America.
something. Okay, that'll work.
Why is Pizzagate trending on Twitter right now? That's my question.
Is it
Yes.
trending?
It's not trending, but it's all over the place.
I mean, I never lost it. I mean, it's always been
I didn't
trending with
either.
me.
Yep. I was gonna say I don't remember the last time I saw that.
I
on
mean,
Twitter.
Hillary Clinton, Pizzagate. I mean, come on. I mean, did that ever leave me?
John
No.
Podesta. Let's go.
Yeah, it's the Podesta. Well, hold on. It's the Podesta brothers.
Tony and John.
Yeah, Tony and John. Come on, let's not forget. Like, what happened? Like, if it wasn't for Twitter, would we really be talking about this again?
No, but Twitter, I think, is the reason people stopped talking about it in the first place.
Well,
started
let me
censoring
rephrase this. X, not Twitter, but X.
Yeah, every time someone says that, I think Exhibit back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Exhibit. What do you know about Exhibit?
Come on, man. I'm old school hip hop.
Man,
I told you one of your
I
freestyle nights
hate
when I'm
how
drinking,
much
I'll come on.
I hate how much you make me love you. And I'll be right back.
I just came in for the crack, guys. What's going on?
All right, Bears, you take it away.
I don't even know what you guys are getting into. I just popped the live on.
We were just talking about, I don't know, it came from like media censorship and it turned to COVID and, you know.
Oh, gosh. I was going to ask him. I don't know what YouTube allows you to say. It is funny finding out nobody read the Twitter pages. You remember Matt Taibbi and, what's her name? They kept posting all the stuff with the feds going in and telling them to censor everything. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg just came out and said the FBI was telling them what to censor. The laptop scandal that they just said was Russian disinformation. All kinds of stuff.
I don't remember that specifically, but it does not surprise me whatsoever.
Oh, that's all real. You should look up the Twitter files. That's what it was called. Matt Taibbi and I can't remember the girl's name. She's a fellow of the tribe too.
All right, I'm back.
Nutty how censorious it's been since 2015.
Oh, I think True Crime Stages is back, right?
Yes, I'm back.
Hello.
Hello. I had to get me a cup of coffee.
There you go.
Howdy, True Crime Sage. Sages. Plural or
Hi,
singular?
how you doing? Well, it's plural, but my friend who I worked with for many years, her daughter, she ran the Jody Powers search and rescue team, and it was founded after her daughter who was murdered. And anyway, she's one of the people I've worked with over the years, and she's my good friend, but she is also now retired. So it's two, but she's not with us at the moment.
Oh, okay.
She's in Chicago.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm just kidding. Chicago's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
What'd I miss?
I was
Really
bringing up the Twitter files and the Zuckerberg just coming out and blowing the whistle on the FBI, pressuring Facebook to censor a bunch of stuff with the laptop and the COVID.
Well, like we didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, it was all speculated. Now he came out and said it for reals.
Oh, but don't say it's a conspiracy. They'll accuse you of being a tinfoil hat.
It was only
wearer.
speculative
Dude,
for
you
them.
know it would be really hilarious, and I should suggest this if I ever get to speak to the case that we ever talked to anybody related to that. They should do the Alex Jones thing. I think that's wrong, but they should go after all those YouTube people for $1 bajillion dollars.
Well, the thing is that they went after Alex Jones for a specific reason, and it might be because he may have even been right.
No, it's the same. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, do you guys remember looking? Any of you
Oh, you
were
have
who
to- if you
conspiracy
want-
theory? Wait, hold on.
Careful.
Were
Be real
any
careful.
of you?
You're
Were
gonna
any
lose
of
your
you?
channel doing that.
Well, hold on. Were any of you conspiracy theorists like during the whole Sandy Hook thing?
I was at. Yep, that's. Yep.
Do you guys remember the military men running through the woods and all of that shit?
Yes, the loop of the you will get your channel axed for talking
I don't
about
even
that
give a
on
shit.
air.
But do you guys remember like the Masonic like lodge that was like right above the school, and like how they proved it was shut down and all that?
There's all kinds
Okay.
of stuff. The documentary, The Life of Adam.
Yeah.
Dude, it wasn't Alex Jones though. It was a bunch of internet crazy.
Yeah, it was way before Alex Jones. Like that's the point I'm making. Like it had nothing to do with Alex Jones. So why is he taking the brunt of all of it?
You know why? Because he pretty much
Exactly.
he took the swing votes and got Trump. Basically, like as crappy as it is, he probably pushed the final.
So are we living in a free country right now, or are we not? Is the
Okay,
question.
hey, Sleuth, may I
Yes.
interrupt you?
Yes, please do. True crime
Did you
sages.
watch the debate between Vance and Waltz last night?
Yeah, we aired it on my channel too. We watched it live.
I didn't know you aired it. I would have watched it.
Yeah, channel
You
2.
saw
Go
what
subscribe to my channel too. We don't miss shit like
Down by
that.
the storage lockers.
You saw what Tim Waltz said, right?
All right, I'll be back.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so he said specifically he made friends with school shooters.
Yeah, that's funny.
Was that a Freudian slip?
I
Come
don't think he.
on.
I don't think he meant that. But if he
No,
did, he's fucking nuts.
I saw a meme on Twitter today. It was him with that let's say gender ambiguous shooter at that church school, and it was him saying, "That's my friend."
I think that I don't think he meant to say that, honestly.
Okay, let me just say
But that
this.
but I could be wrong, and
Still
I've been wrong
funny.
before.
Okay,
I
I'm
hear-
signing
I
off.
hear the feds
Was
are
that
friends
a
with him.
veiled threat?
Oh, I was
Was
just saying,
that
I'm
a-
signing off. I'll talk to you guys another time. Gotta go.
Oh, good night, darling.
Bye.
Later, Juliet.
Peace.
Was that a veiled threat? That's my question.
No, I think he just misspoke.
I don't.
honestly.
You know who
I
is
think it was
friends
a
with
Freudian
most
I
of
hope
the
he
school
misspoke.
shooters?
Huh? What was
You
that?
know who is friends with most of the school shooters? One or multiple federal agents that have been in contact with them multiple
yeah.
times before the shooting.
Oh, kind of like Thomas Crook?
Yeah, every one of them. Every one of the shooters you see in the news, the feds have had them under
Yeah, it's like I don't
It's
know
a
if we live
meme.
in a, I don't know if we live in a free society. I really don't.
Don't look into the Proud Boys trial for January 6th. You'll find out they probably had more federal
Yeah.
people than they did troll what do you call
And they
Proud
didn't need
Boys
it
there.
because think about it. Look, this is the way I look at psychology because even though I'm not schooled in it, I feel like I have like a born
An innate
I'm
sense
born
for
to it. You know what I mean? This is the way I look at it. If before
nerd.
January 6th, you had the BLM riots, right? And you had
Summer
them
love, baby.
Yeah, and they were burning down cities, they were lighting fires, and nobody was
Those were
doing anything about it.
peaceful. Those were peaceful
Come on,
riots and looting,
nobody
bro.
believes that. Okay,
Those were
so
peaceful rioting, looting, and burning.
right before January 6th, you had all these peaceful BLM. They burned down cities. They were lighting down. They're lighting fires. What it was a psyop. They were telling people, Trump supporters, that hey, look, if these idiots could do what they did, you can do what you want to do when it comes your time. And that's why you had Pelosi saying like, look, we're not going to put any security up because we've already trained these idiots that because we burned down Minnesota and we burned down all these other cities. Wisconsin, we burned down all these other cities. We've already trained them that, hey, this is what you can do when you disagree politically. So that's why she removed all of the security. If it wasn't for the BLM, we wouldn't have January 6th. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yep.
I
always love the BLM stuff. Does anybody? This is my favorite conspiracy to go down. But does anybody remember when George Floyd? We don't have to talk about George Floyd, but when that stuff kicked off, do you remember what people were going out to protest? Literally that week that was going. Does anybody know? They were going to the capitals of states to march on the lockdowns, and then immediately he dies, and people start burning cities. It was a pressure release.
Yeah,
but in
exactly.
A
What about
deflected
Whitmer?
Oh my gosh!
I did a live stream.
They were
stream
gonna
about
steal
Whitmer.
Apache helicopters, bro. That's what they got locked up for. They're talking about stealing Apache helicopters.
Yeah, if you guys remember Whitmer, they actually got caught in the conspiracy.
9 out of 12
Thank
people
God.
were 9 out of 12 of them were feds. Am I correct on the number?
Yep, they got caught, and
I'm sorry, not feds.
The Americans that were involved, thank God, got acquitted.
Some of them are in prison. Some of them got guilty.
No, they all got
or
acquitted.
Pled. Didn't 2 of them plead?
Well, 2 of them pled, and 1 of them didn't. The 2 got acquitted, and the one that pled, he had a retrial, and he eventually was released.
Oh, thank goodness.
But it's because they proved that the FBI was part of it.
Yep. They always are.
Nobody talks about this shit. You know what I'm saying? We're not
Ruby
we're not living in a free society.
Jim Jones. Guys. Look, you want to go crazy? Talk about the Iran Contra and
oh my
Rick
God.
Ross and the cocaine in the 80s and the crack epidemic and hip hop and all like it's out there. It's not a made up. It's not Alex Jones screaming.
It's not.
You can read
The
it.
reason they want to kill Donald Trump is because of all of that. And you don't support Donald Trump, you bear Jew.
I'm gonna vote for him.
You
I was
better.
gonna vote for RFK, but he's
Yeah.
not running anymore.
Yeah. Well, you better support. You
I
better
like
support Donald
Vance.
Trump because he's the one that's getting it done.
I
You
don't
know
I
what?
don't I don't know what's
What
gonna
I want to, there's something I want to say here. You know that our government is corrupt and
Oh, yeah.
so utterly powerful.
Well, it's about
If they can,
funneling taxpayer money into the fucking war machine is what it's all
if
about.
they can convince LGBTQIA to support Palestine. Okay, so Palestine, if you take anybody from that group of people and you take them over to the Middle East, they'll chop their heads off and drag them through the streets or just blow them away or hang them or torment them or whatever.
I have to admit something. I have to admit something is that I support Israel to the fullest. And the only reason I do that is because I know that the only answer to true peace is completely annihilating your enemy. So you guys can hate me as much as you
half
want.
measures don't ever work, and that's why we have what we have. And I don't think anybody should necessarily die, but yeah.
And I
I'm
apologize
biased.
for all of that, but the truth, that's just the truth.
They're not going to stop until, so you've got how many, 300 million Muslims in the world that believe that
They want to kill Christians.
They want to kill Christians. They want to
And
kill
some Jewish people want to kill Christians too. So we'll address that, after the fact. If we have to destroy Israel after that, we'll talk about that later.
Who is it? Is it the Khazarians or something like that that's running the state of Israel right now? I mean, you've got Pope Francis who was saying that all religions lead to God. That's horseshit.
Oh, Pope Francis is terrible.
Oh, he's
Because
awful.
you have good and you have good and you have evil.
So the bottom
But
line
right
is,
now, I completely support Israel. I hate, and I'm not saying that because we got a bear Jew here. I'm just saying that because I can't.
because they're
I'm just
allowed to
saying.
defend themselves. Let's say what it is.
It's not even about that. I'm just
Second
saying
Amendment
that's just
rights.
how I feel.
We have a right to defend ourselves against tyranny. And if you look at the biblical prophecy in Revelation, you've got the four horsemen of the apocalypse that is surrounding Israel right now. Now, according to the Bible, Jesus is going to come once they're wiped out. Jesus is going to come back, and all hell's going to rain down on earth.
You have a conspiracy that says that that's what Israel is trying to provoke. Is like the real Messiah, not the Christian Messiah. They're trying. Yeah, exactly. With the red heifers and all that shit.
The blood.
Well, hold on. We have
Christian.
Hold on. We have somebody calling in real quick. Yeah, hold on. Fretless Mayhem, welcome.
What's crack-a-lackin' party people?
We're crack-a-lackin'. What's up?
Fretless?
Get it off your chest. What's on your mind?
Oh, I just thought it'd be cool to call in, join, see, and with everything y'all are talking about. Nothing in particular. I figured I'd just go with the vibe.
Well,
I like
you
Fretless.
got
He's a fellow bass player.
Yeah, but you got to add something. What's on your mind?
Okay, so we were talking about communism and the Kung Flu and all that. Like I had COVID. It was pretty bad, but I just generally noticed that these things tend to kill people with compromised immune systems and whatnot. Generally speaking, like ugly and very young. But I'll tell you what.
Young people were more. They seem safe during
Would you
the
say
whole.
that COVID targeted people that cost a lot of money on the healthcare system?
Well, absolutely.
elderly,
tell you why.
obese, diabetes,
Can I comment on that?
immunocompromised, cancer. Everyone that costs money on the healthcare system seemed to get
Wait,
hammered
True
hard
Crime
with it.
Stages is trying to say something. What did you
Oh,
say?
sorry.
Okay, so you have people that have heart disease and diabetes. So did you know that the jabs contain adenosine triphosphate? Adenosine is what they inject you with when they need to bring your heart rate up. So if you give that to somebody who's got, say, is tachycardic or has atherosclerosis heart disease, it's going to cause them to have a heart attack. Then it also contains polyethylene glycol, which is found in plastic. So you have these, clots being formed. You can Google this. It's not rocket science. Google it, look it up.
Good, because I'm not that smart.
Wait, what's
Polyethylene
the?
glycol and adenosine triphosphate. It's in the jabs, and so you have a system called the VARS, the VARS data, and the VARS data was being hid from the public because they didn't want the public to know how many people were dying from the jabs. So a lot of stuff that was attributed to natural causes was actually caused by the jabs, not from COVID. Now, listen, Sleuth, I've said too much, and I need to run to the store. And
Shout out to
No, I agree with you on that.
shout out to
it's easy to
Died
Google.
Suddenly, the documentary. If you haven't seen it, you guys should check it out. I think it's on
My
Rumble.
You're talking about myocarditis?
Well,
It's about those clots. Died
Yeah, it's not
suddenly.
just
It was the trend
myocarditis.
for
Yep.
died
Mm-hmm.
died suddenly. Yep.
My brother-in-law died 2 days after getting the jab. My mother-in-law got clots in her lungs, and I just recently met someone who has the same.
Nobody in my family got that jab.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
Same here.
My brother-in-law works for the Social Security Administration.
It's very important to me.
He was forced to get it. He died 2 days after his second jab, and they tried to claim it was from a clot from his ankle surgery that happened 2 months prior.
My
Of course they
fiance
did.
has two family members who are on the VAERS list, like actually on the VAERS list for
Really?
dying within 2
How
days
did
of
you
a heart
get the
attack.
information?
At the time, you could find it. I had somebody that was on Rumble where was posting the stuff, and we found it. I have to go sleuth through her laptop for it. But,
Yeah, so you
yeah,
had
they
to
were
go
in the
to
VAERS groups.
a Truth Social in order to find that information. Did you see the video about the plastic clots that were the coroners were pulling out of people's veins?
Yeah, that's that. You need to watch that. Died
Yeah.
suddenly on Rumble. I'm
No,
telling
I
you.
had a big argument because my cousin, he's a brain surgeon he's a very successful doctor, and we went at it. That's the exact reason that I'm not on Facebook anymore, is because of that motherfucker. Because you can just tell that he's bought off. You know what I mean? Like somebody that I've known my entire life.
Yep. Well, they make a lot of money from vaccines. So you think about
Yeah, of course he makes a lot of money, and he
Well, he did
not
a
only that, but he turned into a liberal out of nowhere.
pediatricians make about 50% of their income off of the jabs.
Yeah,
And then
so
you've got all these
have at it is what I told him.
doctor's office. So whatever.
Is there
No, I
really
just
a
meant
link here with the? Is there really a link between the vaccine and deep vein thrombosis? I actually had deep vein thrombosis back in 2012.
Absolutely.
I don't know about DVT, but there were what do you call them? Amyloid clots. They weren't blood clots. If yours was a blood clot, it wouldn't be from the vaccine.
So here's the thing. You asked a question about the DVT. You can get a DVT from natural causes. But if you have the jab, you're far more likely. The other thing is if you take Prilosec or some kind of over-the-counter antacid, you're 2/3 more likely to develop a DVT or a clot once receiving the vaccine.
Yep.
Huh.
So they don't tell people, stop taking your Prilosec, stop taking your, omeprazole, because if you get COVID and you get the jab, you're gonna have a heart attack because you're gonna get clots and it's gonna travel. But a DVT can be caused from natural causes. So if you had high cholesterol, high triglycerides, and all that going into it, then your chances are more likely.
Yeah, I have that.
Statins are terrible for
triglycerides.
you, brother. Statin drugs are terrible for you.
Yeah.
You should look into that. And remember, if you want to lower your cholesterol, and I'm not a doctor, and don't take
No,
your
it's all about
doctor
diet.
advice
It's all
from
about
YouTube.
diet and exercise.
Sugar,
That's fine.
Sugar is where your high cholesterol comes from.
Yeah,
not
exactly.
dietary cholesterol.
Cut out the sugar, exercise, and eat vegetables. It's very simple.
Yeah, vegetables.
What'd you say about vegetables?
They're yucky.
I ain't no rabbit. Come on.
3 conspiracy theorists walk into a bar. You can't tell me that's just a coincidence.
They say ouch.
Yeah, 2 guys walk into a bar. 3rd guy ducked.
I just have a report. It looks like fiends attacking you right now.
Me?
Yeah.
Good.
On
I love
X.
Fiend. I've been trolling him all day. You want me to email you a video? It's fun. He'll love it.
What is
I was
it?
gonna do it.
Yeah,
It's,
send it
it's
to me.
something from your last thing. I was given this by an anonymous source.
All right, send it to me. Was it from DB?
No. This is funny. You'll like this. I just
Yeah,
have to
I
figure
love
out
it.
how to find your email. Let's see.
Sleuth Intuition.
Oh, I know. Why is it not coming up? That's the wrong email. That's why. There we go.
Welcome, Badass. Says Joe Biden took showers with his daughter and Hunter Biden slept with his underage Asian girls.
Ew.
And his
Is
cousin
that real?
or his niece?
Is that real?
Or at least he was giving creepy stuff. He was doing creepy photos with his niece.
I did see something that was pretty sick, but I don't know if that's what it was.
I'll tell you what, Sleuth, buy the book, Report on the Biden Laptop by Marco Polo.
Oh, don't trust me. I don't need to be sold on the Biden laptop.
Well, it's got it in there.
I already trust me. I don't need. I saw the corruption before before Biden became president. I saw the corruption with Ukraine, and then now I'm seeing a war. It's like, look, I don't need to be taught anything. I need the American public to be fucking educated.
I thought Trump was going to start all these wars. Well, that's what I was told.
Yeah. Like the only reason I vote for Trump, you know what? And if I vote for Trump this time and he starts this Iran war, I will be pissed.
Trump is a super Israel guy. He may do that.
Yeah, he might. And I might let him slide on that one because fuck Iran. But I mean, the reason that I support him mostly is because of peace.
Let me know if you got that email. I don't know if it's sent all the way through, but I think you'll love it.
Yeah, I'll check right
So,
now.
are any of you Christians here in the building?
Yeah, I'm a Christian. 100%. I am a Christian.
You know who St. Lucia was?
Huh? Wait, say that again.
The children of Fatima. You know who Sister Lucia was? She's one of the children of Our Lady of Fatima.
I can't understand you. What did you say?
Yeah, I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing you a little bit.
Sister Lucia from Fatima.
Lucia Santos, the girl that
are you like quoting the Bible or something? I'm not sure.
No, I'm telling you about what she wrote down. If you watch The Secrets of Our Lady of Fatima.
Oh, Lady of Fatima. Okay, there you go. Now I can hear you.
Everything that she claimed Sister Lucia Sanchez said was going to happen is now happening with Russia, with the Middle East, everything.
Okay, I think I got your
It was on Unsolved Mysteries.
Wait, hold on. Come in.
You guys will like this. This will be a fun place to premiere it.
All right, what am I looking at? Okay, I'm gonna download.
Is there a video attachment? It's real. It's like 33 seconds. I think you'll love it.
I think so. I just downloaded it. Let me see. I'm going to here.
It's not a virus.
I hope not. That's what I'm always worried about because I've been hit before. You know.
Yeah, I don't know how to do any of that.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Yeah, I'm making them on my iPhone. I just bought a computer
no,
for the first
honestly,
time since 2014.
Oh wait.
Oh yeah, you might.
Is this like?
Yeah.
Is this
You're gonna
like
love it.
You're
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it.
All right, let me put it up on the screen. Hold on.
This was an homage video made to the streams last week.
And it's like 38 seconds.
Yes, shout out to Phoenix.
Yes. I'm cool with Phoenix. Hold on.
I know I am too. You like this.
Okay, hold on. Let me put this up on the screen. All right. Okay, here it is.
Oh, you'll have to take that comment down, I think.
Is that it?
Yep. You have to take your comment down.
Oh, yeah.
I knew it was Jason Voorhees.
Oh.
Dan, shut the fuck up, dude.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Got him.
Oh,
Oh my god. I should have known it was Jason Voorhees. He was the one doing that wop wop bullshit the whole time.
Oh shit! Shout out to who sent me that. I won't say because they said not to say, and I don't know who made it, but
I guarantee it was Jason Voorhees.
no, it wasn't.
It wasn't? Oh my goodness.
No, but I love. Shout out to Jason Voorhees too. That guy cracks me up.
Yeah.
No, I love you, buddy.
He's a good one. He's funny. I
There's
did laugh.
Fiend. My favorite
Fiend,
communist.
yeah, Fiend. He is a communist.
I know he's admittedly so.
Yeah, why? I'm pretty sure he doesn't even come on my channel anymore.
All right,
Yeah, because I trolled him.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
You guys have a great night. Gotta go.
All right, True Crime. Later.
Thank you.
Good night. Have a great night.
You too.
Man, she has so many freaking fans now.
Viva la revolution.
Oh, it's so much more fun trolling people in the political realm than it is in the true crime realm.
Well, they go hand in hand, man. If you notice, all the people supporting Richard Allen and his freedom, they're the same people that are like liberals.
Yeah. He deserves to be executed.
Well, I don't know about all that, but
Let's get him found guilty, then what?
Then execute him.
yeah, then execute him. But I'm just saying the people that have already convicted him are liberal types. They hate the government. They hate police. They don't trust the police. And look, I don't trust the fucking police.
Me neither.
I never did, and I never will. But there is a process in the United States of America that we need the police and we need judges and so on and so forth. But you also need evidence, and that's the one thing that America has is that you need evidence.
Diddy is a reptilian. Yes.
It's the duality of the police, so to speak, because it sucks and nobody really likes it, especially where I am, where they openly admitted to having a massive racism problem in open court. However, when you look at what happens when you do not have the threat of them any longer, then you have, like in Katrina, you have full societal breakdown. So
well, with Katrina, they like totally fucking broke
the levees.
Well, the levees did break, but what they did was they broke the amendments. For once, the Second Amendment was broken. They literally took people's
Martial
guns.
law, baby.
Yeah,
you
know what?
That becomes kind of grounds at that point. But I remember hearing about somebody called the Oath Keepers that were trying to do something about it. But I remember I think it was the air ordered, like door to door, confiscate guns. And I said, how are you going to do that in the situation where you're not taking them from the bad guys? Like I'm not going to murder anyone, but if you try to murder me, I'm taking you with me, and that's just kind of what it is.
That's what I'm saying.
I've been shot before. Like I argue this to people, gun control people all the time. So I actually been shot. It cost me a year and a half of the prime of my life learning how to walk all over again because somebody played with a gun. But I got the hell over it because it didn't pick itself up and shoot me. Just like a car doesn't drive itself drunk. Get over it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Matter.
And we shouldn't allow that. You know what I'm saying? If there's a hurricane, that doesn't mean that you get to enact martial law. You know what I'm saying? Like the entire country needs to mobilize against any military force or any police force that says, hey, like we're going door to door to say that, hey, because they're, let's say people are illegally, well, what's the word? We're, why is it skipping my mind?
Tyranny?
No, not tyranny, where they go and they steal shit.
Looting.
Looting, yeah. If people are looting, you're gonna fucking take the neighborhood's guns. Like, fuck you. Like, if people are enacting martial law and taking guns because people are looting, us as Americans need to mobilize and get the fuck out
I
there.
heard in
And if we
Kentucky
have
right
to
now they're
take
doing the
out,
exact opposite. They're telling them to arm up
well, I hope so, because that's
where
not
they're
what they
looting.
did in Katrina.
The scary thing was the Boston Marathon bombing when the cops went door to door with no warrant, demanding everyone evacuate their
They did
houses,
martial
house by
law.
house search for the
Or
for
even
the
during
people.
even during the COVID crisis, you had in Minnesota, these motherfuckers were shooting with paintball guns, people that were out on their fucking patios. You know what I'm saying? I think when that shit happens, we might need to fucking lay down some machine gun fire.
Does anybody ever wonder why they got rid of the
Did I say that?
blast-proof trash can? Did anybody ever wonder why they got rid of their blast-proof trash cans in Boston when, a year or two before that? Anybody ever think about that? They had trash can. Well, they never thought that could happen. They used to have trash cans in that
All I'm
area that
saying
were
is that
meant to divert the blast upward instead of out.
you're preaching to the choir, though, Dan. You know what I mean?
I
You know
think
what I'm
they have
saying?
some them FEMA actors are running around.
Yeah, like when are we gonna fucking stand up? Why do they hate
I
Donald Trump
wanted
so
people
much?
to do it during COVID, and guess
Why
what?
why
Everyone
do
I knew
they?
that was a Republican laid down and took their $600 and shut up.
Yeah, that
Well,
was
I'm conservative.
disturbing.
I don't like Trump. Like,
Me neither. He's best of two evils at the moment.
well, that's
It's
the
not even that.
problem.
It's not
My
even that.
criticisms of him are probably different than most people's. Take the guns, due process later, ban the bump stocks, that kind of stuff is the shit I don't like about him.
Yeah, his administration
Signing the
less
$11
gun
trillion.
friendly than Obama's.
That
Both of you have offended me.
it's true though, but you got to hold Trump's feet to the fire. That's the difference. Is you might be
It's
able to
not
say
about
something on Twitter, but you might be able to say
it's not
something
about
and they'll listen.
holding some fucking businessman who thinks that he's a conservative to the fire. It's about lifting the fire of the conservative party up.
I know. Well, I'm saying
You
with
guys are
Trump, you can get
fucking
on
up on that
Twitter.
both
If
right
you
now.
get on,
Both of
if
you are
you
fucking that up right now.
if you got
It's
on Twitter
pissing
back
me off.
then, he might listen to a random person on Twitter saying that's stupid,
It
and none of
doesn't
these other
matter.
people will.
It's about the American way and liberties, man. If he can promote that, forget all of that other shit.
Well, if you're Christian, don't have blind faith in any man.
What, you can't. What? What?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You ought to
It's
hold
like
his feet
Satan.
to the
It's
fire.
like Satan is quoting Matthew. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that.
No, it's true. It's true though. You don't
It's
hold a
not
man. You
true.
gotta.
It's not true. You can quote the Bible all you want. If you don't follow it, it means nothing.
That's not true. Bible's a very
It
good
is true.
philosophical text.
It's not a philosophical book. That's the part that's offensive. It's not a philosophy.
It is mythology. Yeah.
That's your opinion.
Well, who else's would it be?
Oh, it could be anybody's.
Oh, I just meant like I only speak for me. Like,
Yeah, half my family are super Christian conservatives.
oh, mine too. Yeah.
I love them.
Mine are
I had to go to Sunday school.
Only people that are Christian love everybody. Let's admit that. That is true.
I love
That's
everybody.
that's what being a Christian is.
I know a lot of Christians that hate everybody.
No, that's not what anybody that says that they're a Christian and says that they don't love, they're not a Christian.
Well, they say they do, and then they don't.
That's what I'm saying. It's not about saying, and talk is cheap.
No, I know. I agree. I'm just saying that's most of them are in. What is that? Maynard Keenan. talk like Jesus instead? Why don't you try to walk like Jesus?
And it's not like being about Jesus. It's not being about Jesus because nobody
No,
can
I
be
know.
like
I know.
Jesus.
Try every day.
No, it's not even about trying to be like Jesus. The reason we had Jesus is because we can't be like Jesus. That's why have a Jesus if we can all be like Jesus.
I think you should emulate his actions.
No,
Don't
that's
cast a
not what it's
stone if
about.
you let,
It's
you know,
no, it's
if you're
not
without
about
sin.
it's
Allow the
not
one
about
without
living like
sin to
Jesus.
cast the
Yeah,
first stone.
yeah, I agree with that.
That goes back
But
Old Testament. He was a Jew too.
no, no. The thing is that we can't be Jesus. That's the whole point of Jesus. If we could all live like Jesus, what do we need Jesus for?
That sounds almost like a Satanist argument, as above, so below.
What
Why
do you
does
mean?
You should
Jesus
try
to
to
act
be
like
like
a good
Jesus.
person?
I think even if you're an atheist, you should try to
No,
act
the
like
reason that
Jesus.
we have Jesus is because he was special. We're not all like, we can't all be like Jesus. The reason we have Jesus is because we're filled with sin. That's the reason we need Jesus. If we could all be like Jesus, why would
Are
we
you
need
saying
him?
that we should all just sin all the time and not try to
No.
do our best to not
No,
sin? Because that's all I'm saying.
the thing is that we're filled with sin and that's why we have Jesus, but we can't all be Jesus. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's probably a person, deity, whatever you want to call it, that you should emulate.
Yeah, but it's funny to hear people that don't believe in Jesus quote Jesus. You know what I mean? That's like a whole nother thing. That to me, that's a satanic. To me, that's satanic.
No, it's not. It's
It
not.
is. It is.
It would be like quoting from the Bhagavad Gita or anything else.
No, because that has nothing to do with Jesus.
Well, right, because you're not personally involved in it. But if you're into Hinduism, you would find it offensive then in your predicament.
No, that's different. It's not Christian.
Yeah, I'm not Christian, but I like you
That's my
guys.
point. That's my point. It's like people that are non-Christian trying to quote Christian values as if they are Christian.
Are you
It's
telling
kind of
me? Are you
no,
telling me you would rather that I disavow everything that's in
no, but
your
it's
holy
it's kind
book?
of like Satanists who try to quote the Bible.
I wasn't mocking it.
No, I know, but I'm just saying it's kind of like in the recent I think we had the vice presidential debate. We had Walls. He quoted the actual. I think he quoted Matthew of the Bible, and we all know that he's an atheist.
Don't
You know
forget
what I
2
mean?
Corinthians either.
Yeah, to me that's very satanic. You know, the only reason you quote the Bible is to prove a point. You don't prove it to support the movement of Jesus Christ or Christians.
Or you like something that's said in the book.
Yeah, you're only doing it for your own personal movement. You're not doing it to support Jesus Christ or to help support the movement of God in a Christian value. You're just doing it to promote your own movement or your own beliefs.
Well, he is
And
a
that's what I'm
politician.
saying.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't have a
and that's
movement.
my point. It's a political move, is what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Thank
Well,
you.
Trump did the same thing though.
Yeah, but he's a Christian.
2 Corinthians?
Yeah.
I don't know any Christians that say
You
2
can get it
Corinthians.
wrong. It doesn't matter if you get it wrong. The thing is that if you're a Christian, you don't have the Bible is not the word of God in my mind. It's not. It's just a map. Christ is in your heart, and the thing is, if you're not a Christian, you'll never ever understand that. So it
think
doesn't
that aligns
matter.
to me saying
It
it's a
doesn't. It doesn't matter if you
philosophical
quote
text.
the Bible right. It doesn't matter if you quote it wrong. The thing is, if you're not a Christian, you'll never ever ever understand it, ever.
Yeah, there are CJK. There are Jews for Jesus.
That dude's own people didn't even believe him.
Yeah, and that's the
In
thing.
fact, if you read the Bible, they sacrificed him for a
Exactly.
pederast,
In the
Barabbas.
Bible, to me, the Bible thumpers, like I don't relate to Bible thumpers. To me, the Bible is just possibly a map for certain folks, but when it comes to Jesus Christ, it's right there in your heart, and nobody will get it until they see it know
I think
that.
you just kind of agreed with what I said earlier about it being philosophical in nature.
Yeah, but it's a different philosophy, right?
I know, but I said that. You said no. It's so then you said it's.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a map. That's what I was saying earlier. I just don't
I'm
happen
not
to believe
arguing
in
with
anything.
that. I'm just saying that there's different philosophies that you can agree with, right?
Right.
Okay,
Right.
but you don't agree with that philosophy, though, right? With Jesus Christ and
I just
the
don't
fact that
believe
he,
that he's my
yeah, and
Lord and
that's my
Savior and
point.
all that stuff. But I
Yeah,
like
and that's what I'm.
the golden rule and all that good stuff from the Old Testament.
Yeah, but it's not the same. So it's a different philosophy.
No, I know.
So it's different, right?
Yep. I'm waiting for Moshiach. Got
I
the
know
red
you
moon
are.
coming.
A lot of people are. The red heifer and all of that.
I believe that's where the rapture comes in and all that good
Hmm.
stuff.
Oh, it's coming. It's all part of it. I think it all plays a part.
Oh shoot. So what were you guys getting into initially? Just COVID?
I hope not.
No, I mean, is that what you guys started on? Is COVID?
No, it was the Kentucky.
Oh, okay. Sad. I hear they're grossly understating the amount of deceased.
Oh, is this the hurricane?
Yes. Kentucky and was it Asheville, North Carolina?
Yeah, I'm in Virginia. We didn't. We got wind and rain, but it wasn't too bad, thankfully. Even though I'm right on the ocean.
Yeah, we did up here in Ohio too.
Ohio.
I don't know how it got so bad out there. I heard on Twitter that there's a lithium or a mining company that really wants that area, and it just happened to get hammered really hard.
Oh, that's a good conspiracy. I like that one.
Yeah, apparently the people in the townships wouldn't sell out the land, and
Yeah.
now their insurance companies aren't going to give them money to rebuild in a lot of places there because of
I'm a firm
something that
believer in
changed.
weather modification. Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Oh, is that NASA
well,
that does that?
it's technically considered a hurricane, and they don't have a hurricane insurance or something along that line.
Yeah.
And flood insurance isn't readily available to those in flood
Yeah,
areas.
if you don't want to mine, let's just get rid of your town and then we
Yep.
can mine afterward.
Yeah, you could have sold it for close to value, or we'll just give you
Mhm.
pennies on the dollar for
That's
it
a good
after we destroy
conspiracy.
it. And it's not. And weather manipulation's real. I just Paradox.
It is
They were
real.
talking about the other.
Yeah. Well, they talk a lot about climate change, but nobody talks a lot about weather manipulation.
Who is it that does the weather manipulation? Is that NASA?
NASA? I
no.
doubt it's NASA. They're more into space.
No, they do climate change.
Maybe. I don't know,
Oh,
but I
no,
would
they
doubt it. I doubt it
definitely.
would be NASA,
No,
but
NASA doesn't do it. The Air Force used to do it back in the
yeah,
50s or 60s.
it seems more like a military thing.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Military.
I forget whatever Paradox was looking up. It was talking about in Colorado. They were still doing
Cloud seeding, things like that. Yeah, for sure.
We've cloud seeded hurricanes. We were doing it in
Arizona right
Vietnam
now.
to flood out.
Well, Arizona now is dealing with. It's just funny that there's this huge, one of the biggest hurricanes that we've seen, and right now Arizona is dealing with this record heats. But it's not a mystery. But if anybody looks at the sun, we're also dealing with these solar flares. Yeah, we're dealing with these huge solar flares right now, and I think we might not be dealing with weather manipulation. We might just be dealing with these solar flares that are affecting the weather. But that's just me. What the fuck do I know? Welcome in, Amy, Daisy. Yeah, so I think there's a lot of things
I
that
don't
could
know.
play into it.
Oh shoot! I must not have had my audio picking up. Is the weather manipulation stuff? I don't know exactly how far any of that goes, and I don't necessarily think they understand the ramifications of doing any of it. But definitely exists. We definitely experiment with. There's a lot of literature out there on it. And I don't mean that they're cycling hurricanes in different directions and
No, but
stuff.
they're putting aluminum and shit like that in the air and stuff like that.
I know they've done lithium
Lithium,
for radio transmit. They've done
iodide.
Yep. Silver
Who is doing
iodide.
this?
And is it silver iodide that does cloud seeding? I'm not sure exactly who. I don't know if NOAA's doing it in conjunction with the Department of Defense or. I mean, look at if you want to see weather manipulation at its finest, look at Dubai. They turned it into an oasis. With
Yeah, they're
cloud
very
seeding.
open, and
then
they've
they
had some.
accidentally flooded themselves.
Yeah, some devastating floods that happen. So, I mean, it does happen. I mean,
It's definitely something cool to look up. It's hard to find good sources though, because trust me, as a
yeah,
weather nut,
because usually you hear a lot about chemtrails, and then people say, "Well, chemtrails, that's Alex Jones." But the truth is, chemtrails. When you put aluminum particles in the sky, that's what you can expect.
So it's been my experience that a lot of people tend to think that the government has much more control over that they do not.
I think they want it that way though.
Like a lot of people ask if the planet is flat, which I find utterly baffling. But
Of course, it's a donut shape. Come on.
I thought it was a pear.
Oh fudge! No, that's women of the Midwest.
Well played.
Shout out to the ladies. Sorry, I'm just making a joke.
No, I've worked in it for a very long time, and it's like I went in as a youngin, like 21 years old, with no opinion on anything, at all, because that's just kind of how it was back then in the before internet times. And like the stuff I've seen, I found particularly like horrifying, moronic, and not really capable, aside from maybe like military capabilities. But that's what turned me into a small government guy.
Chafing.
Did you say chafing?
Chaffing? Did I not pronounce it right?
I don't
Chafing's like an itch, I think.
know. Yeah.
Well,
What if
chaffing
somebody
is
said
something.
chaffing?
It's like you can release it into the air. Something they did in the military to try to conceal activity from radar.
Oh, okay. Are you getting into the Vegas now?
No, but we do have 10 minutes left, so make your point.
I didn't have one. I was coming in and shoot the breeze with you guys.
Well, I would make the point that the government in general is fairly incompetent. It leaks a lot. Everyone is disgruntled. It is the place that I absolutely feared the most. This sounds terrible. I love America. I don't mean it to sound as terrible as it's going to sound, but it's absolutely the place that I have feared the most that a workplace shooting would happen. 100%.
The government?
What do you mean?
Just noticing how everyone's disgruntled, constantly pissed off. Just a very not good place to work.
You're saying America in general?
The federal government working working
Hello,
in
Cryptex.
I was in the
agree with that.
administrations of Bush, Obama, and Trump.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah, fuck Bush, fuck Obama.
But in Virginia, this is very common. It's not I'm not saying, just the federal employer is the largest, the federal government's the largest employer in the Commonwealth.
That, and you guys have all the contracts.
Welcome back, True Crime Sages.
Out there.
Yeah, lots of.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You trying to add to this conversation?
Yeah, so let me just say this. Having seen Christ, I have no doubt. Y'all may have doubt. I have no doubt. There is no philosophy about the Bible God gives us a set of laws. You're either going to follow them or you're not. It's a choice. You can choose to follow God. You can choose not to.
I agree with that.
I
Third
told you in
option,
the
there is
chat,
God.
you're going to have me. What'd you say, honey?
I said third option being there is no God.
That's like saying there is no builder of the Eiffel Tower. Somebody created life. If you look at your DNA, there's Yud Hey Vav Hey written in your DNA.
Well, I don't think he said that no one created anything. We don't know. As an atheist, you don't know. But
Well,
at the
actually,
same time, it seems
Well,
unlikely.
as an atheist, you're saying you don't know your God.
No, you don't know that
No,
there
I
is a
reject
God.
all notion of any afterlife. I'm highly perceptive of being thought of as a troll here because I'm not. I'm a fan of the content and everything. I just happen to be.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you're
me
free to
too.
be that. But the truth is, any atheist is just they just don't know who their God is or if there is a God. They don't know that there's no God.
Yeah, I mean, nobody
fairly
knows anything in a way. If you
We
go down
send
that
probes up into space and taking pictures of it. There's no heaven. They don't clamp down a soul when they operate. This is outmoded stuff from a long time ago when nobody understood the world. That's no longer relevant.
Yeah, but we know about atoms and all that stuff now, and then it kind of looks like space might be just like a bigger version of that, right?
Well, I mean, the Big Bang Theory is not too far off of a religion in and of itself on how testable and provable it is.
Yeah, and how do you have a big bang without anything banging together?
I don't
Well,
necessarily
that's
think
the thing, right?
I
It's
don't
like
think the Big Bang is a good science. It's
Yeah,
kind of
it's not good science.
pseudoscientific by
It's
nature.
it's just where we are at the point. Like we can't explain anything. So the fact that we think we can explain anything is already our own ignorance.
my understanding is the Big Bang Theory comes from when we can measure the current rate of expansion of the universe. If you just follow that backwards, it eventually comes to a
Nah,
point. It's the whole question.
That's the problem. The problem is that we think that we know anything, and we just need to accept the fact that we don't.
And the thing
That's
with
where faith
atheism-
comes in.
The thing with atheism is they believe that everything came from nothing and instantly created life.
Well, you're already mistaken on your presumption because if you know just by the term atheism, we don't believe in anything. Like that's the whole point. When you say atheist believes, then you've
All right.
already missed the whole boat on that
Yeah,
one.
then I should say
So are you
agnostic.
really
then.
here? Are you,
Do what?
since you don't believe in anything, are you really here?
Yeah, it's
That's
like
not
you
a
don't even.
belief.
It's well,
That's
it's like
not a belief.
atheists don't even believe in their own reality. You know what I mean? It's like they created
Well, you don't
themselves in
believe
some
in
way.
it. It just is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. But there's
If I could prove
nothing.
you
Nothing
wrong-
just is what it is. You know what I mean? It's like the
That
Big
is
Bang
the
Theory.
that right there is the difference between someone of faith and an atheist, right there.
Yeah,
I could
like
You guys
prove you wrong-
subscribe to what notion, whichever religion you guys subscribe to, and we
I don't.
generally
I
just
don't prescribe to any religion.
It's
So,
not about religion for me either.
Yeah, I don't believe in religion.
You
I
just
am
said you're a
Christian.
Christian.
I am a
I'm a Christian, but it's not a.
But there are many
It's not a religious. It's not religion for me.
variations of Christianity. Having seen Christ, I have no doubt. You might
Yeah.
have doubts, but if I could show you proof of life,
I
after
don't
death,
have I don't have
To
doubts.
me, it's more of a belief that I feel in my heart, and
Yeah, I
it
mean,
goes
if you
beyond.
could show me
it-
proof of something,
and it's
would.
not
I would
about
concede
proof
your
either.
point.
To me, it's like as a human being, I don't possess the ability to even understand. You know, it's accepting the fact that I can't possibly understand what a God is. You know what I mean? I don't have that ego. I don't have
That
the
is
ego to set.
that
You know
is
what I mean?
blasphemous speech, actually, in your own religion.
Yeah. And no, the blasphemy is saying that you have the ego to understand. That's blasphemy.
No, by saying that you don't. It's written out for you. Like to go
It-
against it, it's
no.
blasphemous.
It's not
No,
written
it's not.
out
It's
because
not
the
written
truth
out.
is it's in your heart. You don't need the Bible
God-
or any
God will give
written.
what
You don't
you
need
need.
anything written to understand that God
Oh, that's the
or
new age
that there's a
Christian thing.
no. You
No,
don't
it's
need
not.
anything to tell
I
you
got
that there's a creator. You don't need anybody or anything to tell you that. You've already been born with it.
I'd be more likely to believe that it was aliens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think aliens fit into all that too, because how are we not aliens? I mean, we're literally these biological creatures that are floating around on a rock. So yeah,
From the perspective of the aliens, we are the aliens.
yeah, we
Well,
are
how,
the
how
aliens.
do you explain the Nephilim?
Yeah,
How do you
exactly.
explain the proof of the
You don't
bones.
have
and
to. That's the
giants
difference.
that
That's
were-
well. Here's the difference. As an atheist,
Final
I don't
words.
have
Wait,
to.
hold
I
on,
don't.
hold on,
Well,
hold
as
on.
an atheist, you don't
Final
have to
words.
prove anything.
Let's continue the final words, and we'll start with
when
you,
you're
Dan.
claiming, I was going to say, as an atheist, there's no burden of proof. When you're a Christian, your burden of proof is what
Yeah,
you're
and
saying
God doesn't
to
need
be
proof.
true.
You know,
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly
facts
what
don't
I'm
need
saying.
proof. That's what I'm saying. Like your ego
That's why
and
I wouldn't
everything.
argue with you about
Exactly.
your face.
That's what he's saying.
That-
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, facts don't need proof. What about you?
Ruckus, what's up, man?
Welcome in, Ruckus. Go ahead, Fretless. What do you think? Final words before we get out of here.
Final words.
Yeah.
What kind of gear are you playing on, Bear Jew?
Right now I have on the bass. It's I think I have a Schecter Diamond series with some flat wounds on it, and what is it, like the Mexican Strat version of a Music Man, and then I've got a Mexican Strat that I play guitar on. A couple of them.
Flat wounds, interesting choice. Is it a fretless?
Oh, no, I wish. That's why I was telling you the other day. I haven't bought one. I've played a few of them. I love it. It is a different ball game. It's chess versus checkers on the thing. Your ear better be on point. Otherwise, you'll ruin everything you're playing.
Is that all you got, Fretless? Is that your final word?
Yeah, I just really wanted to know that. Sorry.
No, you're good. No apologies. What about you, True Crime Sage's final word before we get out of here?
Jesus loves his children. He gave you a free gift. You can accept it or not. That said, if you see somebody who's missing, share the poster, share the information out there. Lord knows they need help.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to everybody.
For Abby and Libby, and thank you guys for watching. Hopefully it was fun. You know,
Yeah.
I love you, Sleuth.
Yeah,
Fret,
love you too. And
I
that's
gotta
what
get
it's all
a way to
about.
contact
Love.
you. It'd be fun to have a talk about music on one of these things. I don't know how to get in contact with you.
All right, you guys have a great night. Take care.
Thank you, Sages.
Been a pleasure.
Thanks, Sleuth.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
Yep, you too.
Take care.
Peace, man.
Later.